and the correspondence that we have received is that it is 11-1.
It's 11-1.
I believe we are planning on 11-1.
That would make the most sense.
I think
I
so
would agree
too.
with that.
We could be there the whole time.
Because then when we leave, we have plenty of time to get here.
Yeah.
Wherever
Do your show normally. Yes.
Yep. Awesome.
I think 11-1 is your answer.
Boom. I'm getting some wings, man. I'm pumped.
Just like Nebraska is going to be 11-1 this year.
Oh, wow.
That's right. I'm feeling the hype.
Wow. Hype monster.
Get the X.
Well, that's going to be a rather dramatic increase from the 5.8 you were going.
Yeah, I'm just going to let it fly. We go 5 more wins right now.
Oh, man, we're at the end.
Last
week.
So this is what I was saying at the beginning of this. Like, I didn't find the way to get to 7, but I do think I think
you're going to say 7.
I think I'm going to say 7. Yeah.
But why?
Because I'm not a negative
Josh,
boy like you.
You sound like you've been betrayed.
I mean, I just thought he would stick to his guns a little bit.
What about my guns? This is what I always thought I was going to pick.
5.8 guns. Not the 7 guns.
I don't know. There must have been some. I must have got too convinced by a couple of the You have a negative influence on people, Josh.
Do I?
Yes,
Me?
of course. And
I
might have dipped too much at one point in time, but I also didn't go up on days that I felt confident enough. We only did that exercise a couple times.
That's true.
It was really truly a very dumb thing that we tried to do.
Yeah.
But that's
that was the point. Yeah. The point was just to have some dumb fun.
Yeah.
It's okay to have dumb fun.
I love dumb fun.
Dumb fun.
That may be part of the biggest
1620 the
problems we have in our country today is no one's willing to have dumb fun anymore. I might offend somebody. Shut up.
Well, you know what show doesn't worry about offending people, John?
This one.
Well, I was going to say the new Game of Thrones show when they pulled down that guy's pants and then suddenly he was screaming and then they threw something on the little table.
What?
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh,
are we going to do a weekly House of Dragon discussion?
Of course.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You're not. What do you mean?
I will not be included in.
Did
this.
you watch Thrones? Or were you not a Thrones
I have
guy?
not watched Thrones.
Wow.
No. I'm not against Thrones. I just didn't watch it.
Okay. Oh. There was quite the moment in.
So people are jacked about this Dragon show.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Can we do the Dragon show discussion tomorrow? I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
Oh, Nick, what the hell? I'm busy on Sundays.
Jeez. I'm busy.
This is pathetic.
Nick, how busy were you?
Laundry. I had so much laundry yesterday.
Okay, you're watching TV.
You don't stand there and watch the laundry, do you?
Sometimes
the machine does the laundry, Nick.
Find their own forms of entertainment, John, and I don't think you need to yuck my yum.
Now I know why he appreciates Formula One so much, because washing clothes is the only thing that's more not enjoyable than Formula One.
My God.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Y'all can talk.
I don't want to
talk about it.
I don't want to spoil it.
Football season will be here in 3 weeks, and we're going to be way busy on Sundays, and it's going to be a lot harder. You know what? But for the duty of this show, I'm going to stay up late on Sundays and watch it. That's what I'm going to do.
Wouldn't that be better for all of our schedules, just to do it Tuesday? You're too busy Sunday. You can catch up Monday.
There's Monday night football, Nick.
You could just randomly pop in and talk about Game of Thrones on Tuesday?
It's House of Dragon, actually.
Whatever.
You're not allowed to correct him. You haven't even watched it yet.
So this is the prequel to the Game of Thrones?
Yes, this happens roughly 200 years before.
Can we call it a prequel, or is it just another story in another time period?
Well,
is it?
I mean,
it's technically directly related to the main story, but
it's in the same universe.
Yeah, prequel works.
Oh, yeah.
Prequel works. But it's we're in the universe.
Yeah, I mean, they're like the last names of the main characters. Where's the last name of one of the main characters?
Yes, I know them.
The Targaryens.
The Targaryens, I've heard that word before.
You know that name. Yeah. They have blonde hair.
But if they're two separate stories, can it be a prequel? Like, can we say World War II is a prequel to the Grum?
I mean, that's real life, though, Nick.
That doesn't really.
This is the universe we all live in.
Yeah, we all live in the universe, and this thing happened before that.
Life doesn't have prequels. Life is just time. It's linear. You know how it goes. That's the past. We call that the past.
It's a flat circle.
Call that the past.
You tell Josh was reading the World Herald this weekend. Time.
Hot dog.
What is this a reference to? What?
Wow, someone doesn't read all of the columns of his Tuesday regular guest.
I guess not.
You didn't. Yeah, the theme of this year's preview
was hot dogs.
Well, no.
Oh,
I talked to him yesterday. Had he written it yesterday?
Yeah, it came out in yesterday's paper.
Okay.
Yeah, the theme, every year
I'll
the
send it
World
to you,
Herald, the
Happer.
Journal Star have their themes for their Husker preview,
for their
and
big
this year's
section.
World Herald theme was time.
What was did the Journal Star have one of those because they have like 1 million new people now?
Well, or did they just co-opt the World Heralds because that's
maybe they did.
What sister companies do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chappelle was in a time machine where he was eating hot dogs in different press boxes across college football.
That's kind of funny.
Wait till you read it. I DM'd it to you. Let's hear your thoughts. Jordan wants to know, does Nick do his laundry by hand for fun? Yeah, I got a lot more questions about that.
Laundry Nick.
By hand.
I can't watch Thrones. I'm doing my laundry.
I don't have a good enough excuse. All right, you know the truth.
You forgot, didn't you?
No,
you
I've got.
Forgot.
No, I
you
actually.
were the one that sent me the reminder several months ago.
I had.
That's what that thing was.
I had the reminder in my. I forgot about that. I had the reminder in my phone, but I've recently got back into Stranger Things, so I've been binging that, and I've been.
So
I don't like to binge
first
more
you
than
just
one thing
lied
at a
to
time.
us.
Yeah,
Nick, watching one episode of something is not binging it; it's watching the.
No,
episode.
I know, but I don't like to cross streams, right? Like I don't like to read one book, or I like to read one
Can't
book at a time.
multitask.
I don't like to. I can multitask. I just don't want to. I don't want to cross the streams. You know.
Good God.
Stranger Things, get it? Cross the streams. Ghostbusters.
Bring back Moose.
Wow.
Wow.
That's just weird. You would have never survived my time.
Yeah.
Where you watched one show and then occasionally during commercial breaks you switched it to another show.
Okay.
Oh my God! I'm thrown off! I'm thrown off!
I've done it
How
before.
am I going to live? I mean, I got Hawkeye Pierce on one channel and Archie Bunker on the other. What the hell am I going to do?
horrible.
You do know I've been alive before streaming was a thing,
No
right?
wonder he
I've done
only
it before.
watches
I
one
just don't
sport.
like to.
He just didn't have cable as a kid.
That's
Or
right.
didn't have
Didn't
the
have ESPN.
BTN.
Yeah.
I just don't like to. I can.
Nick,
I just
it
don't
would
like
have
to.
been a better excuse if you would have said, I thought the new House of Dragons was on Big Ten Network and my parents don't get
And this is
Yeah.
why I didn't tell you guys the truth.
I
I'd
mean,
rather
your
do the
lie was
laundry
horrible,
thing.
too.
We knew we were going to destroy you no matter
Yes.
I thought you were going to say I'm busy, and I hate when people say I'm busy. Have I ever talked to this with you before?
Complain.
You always say I'm busy, and I hate when people say I'm busy. If you wanted to prioritize something, you would just prioritize.
Nick,
it.
you don't have
you would
prioritizing
just do
things.
it.
Nick doesn't have kids or a pet. Like, what is he busy with? He goes home. What are you busy with?
We're
Nick?
all busy. We
Yeah.
all got things to do,
Yeah.
but we all do.
We
the things.
prioritize it for work, though.
I'm
That's why
too
we
busy
watch.
prioritizing other work-related
Now-
things
now
and other
to-
things in my life.
Now, to defend Nick here, this is hard for me to do, but
Wow.
when you say
Tough look
maybe you're trying to avoid this type of criticism by just saying, hey, I was busy.
Yeah, Nick maybe just
Because
has
Oh.
a
because
catch-all.
now
So you're
what
saying
are we
he
doing?
wasn't
We're
actually
destroying him
busy.
for doing his laundry, and then we
Yeah.
find out later he's actually watching another show and he didn't want to cross the streams,
Yeah.
and we're still destroying him
Do you-
for
like,
it. If he would have
Interesting.
just said, "Hey, I was busy,"
Well,
and
you-
just
then
left it
Happer
at
would
that.
have
Then I
more
would have freaked out. I was
questions,
like,
yeah.
well, why are you so busy all the time?
Do
You're
you
not
use
busy.
everything as a
well, he
catch-all
did
for
just
busy,
get back
Nick? Like,
from a long trip.
if you like playing video games, would you include that in the I'm busy?
But just say that. Just say I was on a long trip and I didn't watch TV.
See, yeah, I do
I'm
not-
busy.
I would not ever put watching shows or playing video games into the I'm busy category. Those are leisure activities. Now, tonight, I'll be doing like a lot of soccer prep. I will be busy tonight because I'll be getting ready for the soccer
I'm
season.
busy.
That is actual busy work, not watching Stranger Things.
Josh now saying that soccer prep is not enjoyable. It's not leisure time.
Didn't say that, just saying it's work. It is work. It is work.
It is work.
I
It is
appreciate
work.
whenever I'm gone for a long period of time. The first episode of Back is just you guys roasting
Yeah.
me.
Sorry.
I thought,
all the
Nick,
time.
you were going to return and we were going to be like really thankful to have you back.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, those were a good 5 seconds.
If I had a nickel.
Hey, after Friday, I think we're happy to
Yeah,
have
you
him.
know, give Nick a
It
raise.
was, a
Oh,
little, it was a little adventurous.
I worked
on
from
Friday.
truck on Friday.
Ugh, that's one way to describe
It
it.
was adventurous, but we
Yeah.
got through it. We did fine.
You guys sounded great. How was Golf Flash?
Awesome. We had a lovely time.
The golfers seemed to have a good time.
Yeah, we avoided the rain.
Yeah, it seemed like a little
That was
dicey there for a
very
second.
scary.
I was
That
worried
was
about that
close.
because
We were worried about it too.
when I talked to you, I was in St. Louis, coming back over from St. Louis, and it was kind of raining off and on, even all the way up through like Glenwood.
It was like literally what north and south of us.
Yeah,
It
just split.
Part of me wanted to text you and be like, "Hey, be careful! It's raining where I'm at." But it's like, well, we're in the same area. You would know.
Yeah.
we knew. Yeah, we looked in the sky.
Maybe this is the first hint that we're going to break the curse.
Well,
You avoided the rain.
good observation by Greg and Lincoln.
What up, Greg?
Who's watching in the stream? I commend the USC crew for wearing blue on the Monday of Red Out Week.
According to Josh,
wait, I'm wearing blue too.
You're wearing blue.
According to Josh, this isn't blue; it's teal.
I thought that was
And
teal.
But
isn't blue.
That's
what I said.
It's in the
a
neighborhood
shade
of blue.
I
It's a
am
neighborhood of blue.
colorblind.
Yeah.
This is an issue that I have, and you're gonna make fun of me for
Well,
this.
no, because even I'm not making fun of you. Because I even said
I'm proud of you,
teal's a
Nick.
shade of blue.
Well, I make
You
fun of
going
Josh.
after other people's handicaps. I mean, that's
pretty.
You should be back in my day.
You sound like John right now, Nick. It's very offensive.
Being colorblind is like a very funny thing to make fun of. Like it's like you see a different color than it actually is. That's hilarious.
I wasn't making fun.
It
You
is.
even
That's
said
a
you're
good
like that's
point.
not blue. That's more teal. It's like
well,
they're all
my-
shades of blue.
It's my disability, Nick.
And then I even said his shirt and his hat are two different shades of blue, but they're still blue, right?
They are blue. I don't consider teal blue, though. I consider it teal. I consider teal more of a shade of green than I do a shade of
Well,
blue.
it's between green and blue.
Some debates.
Yeah.
It's between.
But I
green.
know,
shades
but
of
I
blue.
always,
It's
51% green,
trending.
49% blue. So slightly more green than blue.
I would say teal is closer to a green. I agree
Yeah?
with you,
All right, I'll
Josh.
put out a poll question. Josh, you put out
Like the
poll
Miami
question. Your poll
Dolphins, are
questions always
they
better.
green or blue?
Green.
I agree.
The Dolphins? No, it's teal.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but are they, if you have to pick whether they're green or blue, what are they?
you'd say green.
I'd say blue.
So maybe he's colorblind.
I'd say green.
It is closer to green.
Yeah.
It is closer to green,
Awesome.
in
I
my
like this.
opinion.
Sorry, Nick, you're roasted again, friend.
Roasted.
Boom, roasted.
Joel says Nick can't cross streams. He's obviously never used the bathrooms in Memorial Stadium.
Nice.
Oh, It's
Troughs.
about to be trough season again.
Troughs are
folks.
back.
Do
Yeah,
they
it
still have
is.
troughs in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Covered in troughs.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed because they've done a lot of work, and the original trough divers were have been found at Wrigley Field, but they've redone a lot of the bathrooms. I think they've gotten rid of all, if not most, of the troughs.
Yeah, a lot of them are gone now.
Yeah,
I'm putting
It
out
was
the poll right now.
very
as well.
disappointing.
It's
very
disappointing.
Yeah,
Why?
just the idea that some random idiot could, on a drunken whim, go trough diving is kind of funny to me.
Like fall into the
Gone pro troughs.
Yeah.
Has that happened so many times where there's a name for it?
Oh yeah,
People just fall in the trough?
not falling; they're purposely going in there and doing the or trying to skate through it. You know how you
In the pee trough?
yeah.
Why?
they're
Because
drunk.
people are drunk idiots.
What do you
When
mean?
I'm drunk, I've
drugs
never
make you do
wanted to
stupid
swim and
things.
pee.
What do you mean by this? What you mean go into the trough?
Yes.
Like you're saying on purpose?
Yes.
Okay, that does not happen.
I thought you were just
I thought
talking
you were
about
saying
the
like they fall
people,
over.
or just the people who go use the trough.
I've been drunk a
Ladies
few
and
times in my
gentlemen,
life, and I've never wanted
boys
that.
and girls,
you're gonna
I
find
am
one
about
video-
to I am about to show you a famous YouTube video called Pete Rose dive into the Wrigley Field urinal.
Now this is a
Oh,
one-timer
no.
though, right?
But still, he did it.
Pete Rose?
Yeah, watch. He runs and then dives into the trough, Pete Rose
You know
style,
what?
head
I'm
first.
okay with him not being in the Hall
There's
of
no
Fame.
way they didn't stage it a little, like clean it out. Like there's not pee in there.
It's impossible.
There's P. There's P.
It is impossible to clean it out during a game because people are constantly urinating.
and that was
in
taken
it.
on like a crappy cell phone. So
Yeah,
that
this
was-
is an old classic.
It was not like done by as a bit by Fox, which wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
but, you know.
Yeah, trough diving at Wrigley Field. I mean, I don't know
It's
how
disgusting.
often it happened, but it happened.
Zachary says this is why Nick watches F1 as the lack of lead changes helps him with his inability to multitask. Then Jordan says,
Stop, Kimi! Stop!
"No more
Too
changes."
many-
It's too
many.
confusing. It's too
And
confusing.
then Jordan says, "Picture this: you're 6 years old, using the troughs at Memorial Stadium, and you look to your right, and bam!" And then
Pete Rose dives in.
There's a bunch of hot dogs hitting someone in the face. It says "wiener."
See, so when my dad was in town for the College World
It's pretty
Series,
shocking.
I took him to that Navy boat that's out over by the river. I don't remember. You good?
You're right there.
Sorry, we're falling apart here.
Yeah, well,
But they have a trough situation in that bathroom. The guy giving us the tour, and he's like, guys, when they were on the water, used to make little paper boats and float them across the trough. Nobody ever dove into it, though. I could believe
Yeah.
people doing paper boats. They'd light them on fire.
Kelsey, who's
Yeah.
going to make us a cake, says this whole conversation makes me really glad I'm a girl.
Yeah.
What you mean they don't?
Could
have,
you
They
imagine?
don't have troughs in the women's
They
bathroom.
don't have lady troughs.
They certainly do not.
They could probably just put a seat on top of the trough, right?
That would be
Oh my God.
hysterical. Hysterical.
I'm not going there.
Wow,
No,
you're
not
worried
going
about
there.
offending
No
people?
further.
You were just
I'm not
accosting
going there.
people for not saying how they really feel. Say how you really feel.
No.
You made fun of my disabilities.
No.
Say what you
No,
want to say,
my
Sean.
I'm just
God.
envisioning in my head how we could make a trough in a women's bathroom work.
It's like a table, right? With a couple holes in it.
Oh,
What?
oh, no.
Right? Right?
This is
Across the whole
why
thing?
we stopped.
That's why I stopped.
This is why we
That's
stopped.
why I stopped.
Okay.
That's all. It's just saying that's why I stopped.
Maybe the whole crossover's over now.
It
I
could
don't know.
Happy New Year.
It's game week.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's game week.
Game week. Yeah, happy Red Out week. Josh thinks he's wearing red, even though he's
Okay.
wearing blue.
See, unreal. We get to make fun of
Josh
my
doesn't know if
people.
he's a lib
My
or a
people.
non-lib.
Ah,
Yep.
I go vote and I'm wearing the wrong color every couple of years.
Josh had no idea his MAGA hat was red.
I thought it was a blue
He said it was a
one.
cool blue hat.
Oh.
now what we've come up with here is basically a Chappelle Show bit. We're a colorblind person. Where's the wrong? Wait, I thought AOC was. I thought she wanted to make America great again. I thought this was a blue hat.
Thought it was a parody.
So stupid. Oh,
We're
yeah.
very dumb.
Yep, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Are you spend the rest of the afternoon trying to put that thing back on the deal that you
might
broke?
need some tape or something.
I don't think tape's gonna work on there.
How does that happen? The wall just fell out.
It's the weird.
It probably
cabinetry
wasn't
we have
clicked
here.
in very well.
I'll take a look at
There's
it. Don't
no
worry.
such thing as
Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay.
Well,
I'm
no,
still
we don't
holding
want
it.
we don't want Nick doing it. He's got to produce the show. He can't multitask.
That's true, Nick.
We've
I'll
learned
do
that.
it. Don't worry.
My entire job is multitasking. I'm not going to multitask in my free time. Is that fair?
No.
Is that fair?
No.
It's like I'm really quiet when I go home too because I talk all the time here.
Well, that's me. I'm the same way. I don't talk a whole lot at night.
Sometimes you just don't want to multitask.
All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Bye, Hap.
was the first crossover
Goodbye.
of the new football season.
Wow. That's how we break
Football's
it in.
back.
Football is back.
Troughs.
Trough talk.
Unsportsmanlike, kind of busy program today, and we'll get it all started next. And meanwhile, help Connor fix the thing that he broke on 1620 The Zone.
Irrational confidence.
I want to go back to the original situation. The plane is fine. Everything about the plane is fine, except for the pilot is no longer able to fly the plane. And I am the only person left in a working, usable plane that has no technical issues.
But you can land that plane?
I can land that plane.
Irrational confidence. The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Watch out for patchy dense fog during the morning drive Monday. Most fog should lift by around 9 a.m. Then sunny and warm conditions the rest of the day with a light southeast breeze, highs around 87. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's unsportsmanlike conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone, live and local, broadcasting 6A to 6P in the Host Coffee Zone studio. Host Coffee, offering office break room refreshment services to Omaha and Lincoln metro area businesses. Discover a better break room solution for your office at sales@hostcoffee.net.
Here are your 2 big deal cheeseburgers. Enjoy your Sonic.
I love the sauce, don't you? So it's not just ranch. It's got a little zing to it.
Yeah, like a dilly ranch. Don't dilly-dally with this. Get to Sonic.
Don't dilly-dally, run.
The ultimate burger for pickle lovers is here. The Sonic Big Deal Cheeseburger, topped with crispy pickle fries, crinkle-cut pickles, and creamy dilly ranch. Get yours now for just $4.49. Exclusions apply. See app for details. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Trees supply oxygen, provide shelter, and reduce pollution. They're a symbol for life. Lanahaw Nurseries is the metro area's premier homegrown tree source. Leave a legacy that matters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Take your science or healthcare degree to the next level at College of St. Mary and apply to one of our in-demand graduate programs. Earn a Doctor of Physical Therapy with our online on-campus hybrid program. Earn a Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies in just 2 years, or an Occupational Therapy Doctorate in 3 years. Graduate programs at CSM are inclusive and open to everyone. Plus, we offer an accelerated pathway to several of our healthcare programs for those needing their undergraduate degree. Apply today. Get started at csm.edu.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. Maybe that's why we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. So what's up with the other 7%?
Everyone, meet our newest employee, Susan. She has an idea that is going to revolutionize our food ordering.
Hi, Susan.
So nice to meet you.
Unfortunately, she just gave her notice, and today is her last day.
I'm gonna miss her. Why don't all companies order through EasyCater? Who knows? Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. It's our thing.
Kickoff week 1 with FanDuel. It is America's #1 sports book. Sharpen betting in the morning. We do that. Join today and you get started with $150. What? $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet.
Yeah, that's a heck of a rate of return, and that's what it's all about. FanDuel Sportsbook, the app, they make it easy. You've got to get the app downloaded by entering the promo code ZONE. Don't fumble your chance to get the $150 in free bets. It is a win-win.
Yeah, all you have to do, this is easy. Sign up with promo code ZONE, get in on all the action. You can turn game day into payday. Game day, payday, all season long. What would you do? What future would you look at with? You could make $150 in free bets. Yeah, play your way, bet more than just the final score. Wager on everything from touchdown to total yards to catches. $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code ZONE. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 over, present Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-drawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Did you know it's game week?
Game.
Did you know that by the end of this week there'll be a game?
Yeah, I'll be watching it.
That counts.
Are you gonna watch it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
I'm kind of taking a Nick approach to this because there's still baseball
Got
going
other
on.
things to watch.
He's
and
busy.
If I cross the
Laundry
streams,
to
it might
do.
confuse me. Welcome back, Nick.
Hi, Nick. Good to see you again.
Yeah,
man.
we're back.
missed
We're all.
you.
Yeah, we haven't
missed
been
you.
all together for
Did
almost
you?
2 full weeks.
Yes.
So, and just in
Yes.
time. Just in time for the start of a new football season.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. Welcome to Go Big Red Out Around the World in 80 Days Weekish, brought to you by Union Bank and Trust, where your money
Play the
has
drop,
people.
Nick. Oh, that's sorry.
Football week.
Finally. Kind of.
Finally.
I mean, there's only a half a dozen games,
Finally.
and most of them don't matter.
That's not true. There's like a dozen games, man.
Oh, well, there's dozens of them.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them feature like really low level
FBS
and or FCS.
Illinois plays Wyoming.
That would be the other game that doesn't feature at least one FCS team, right?
That no. UConn at Utah State, though. UConn might as well. be an
UConn,
FCS.
yeah, UConn
Vandy,
does not
Hawaii,
count.
Nevada, New Mexico State,
New Mexico
Charlotte,
State
Florida
also.
Atlantic. Idaho State at UNLV. Oh wait, is Idaho State?
Idaho State's not.
They're FCS.
They're
still.
FCS.
Yeah. So what was that? 5 non-FCS on FCS games.
Cool.
Very cool. Very legal. Very cool. Gary and I will have on the Wyoming and Illinois game in studio as we're hosting
Big
Red.
Wyoming overreaction.
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that. But we'll be on the air. Big Red overreaction. How fun will that be? Fun.
I'm glad you're going to have fun with it.
I can't wait to have fun.
And we're going to have fun with today's lineup powered by the rooferys. John Higgins weather guard. Jack Mitchell will join us in a few. We've got a curse event coming up on Thursday. As part of Go Big Red Out Around the World in 80 Days week, brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Mitch Sherman pinch hitting today for Steve Sipple, who, we knew travel was going to be a little dicey, especially with Steve Sipple, because you have to get all the
make sure you have a passport. Does he have a passport? That's the question.
Yeah, he still has his original passport when he came over on one of the ships.
Oh, Ellis Island?
Back, yeah, and landed at Ellis Island.
Oh, wow, the olden times.
Yeah, and I don't know if that password's still properly dated.
Some media left yesterday, I saw. Some are leaving today.
Mitch is leaving today, I believe.
No, he's tomorrow. Mitch
he's
is a
leaving
tomorrow guy.
Oh.
Bruns was a today guy, though. I talked to Bruns about when he was at the airport and he was already being delayed. So that was lovely. Delayed out of Omaha. He said he had built in a lot of time, though, in Chicago. So, knock on wood that our good friend Bruns is going to be okay. Brian, is Sip driving his hog to the Emerald Island? There you go. Yeah, just have a huge bridge. Just a giant bridge.
Not a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Mitch Holtis within their Chiefs training camp update, and Tom Brady at 5:15.
Tom Brady. Nick, that guy's not talking to anybody right now.
Oh, it's not Tom Brady?
No, it's a guy named John Borton.
Oh.
Yeah.
John Borton.
Well,
Michigan on 3.
Not John Bolton, John Borton.
Like, that episode of The Simpsons where Bart tried to find a thing that said Bart, but it said Bort?
Nope.
John Borton.
John Borton.
I've forgotten that one, but I'll take your word for it. But yes, Michigan today. We're in the final week of our 25 teams.
Wow.
In 25 days.
And we're pretty sure this is also the last week with Mitch just doing training camp updates. Amazing, Daniel, because then he'll be a regular guest after that every week.
Well, yeah, once the season starts,
football season.
Yeah, once the season starts, then Mitch will have his usual regular, probably Wednesday?
Wednesday hits.
Wednesday time slot-ish.
Lovely. I can't wait to talk to him.
And a lot of other stuff to get to. This is also prediction week.
Yeah.
Got a lot of predictions we have to get to. And if you want to participate, we've tweeted this out, our 10 questions, where you fill in the blanks on some declarative statements that you think will happen this year. And, of course, speaking of predictions, we have reached phase 4.
Oh, phase 4.
Phase 4 of our 4-phase polling, gaining your prediction for what you believe Nebraska will do this year, regular season record. And just like every other year.
Positive boys.
The positivity.
The positive boys.
If we were to hold off this polling, if this were like 2020, not that we want to go back to that, and the season doesn't start until late October.
Oh, no.
We'd probably get up to 100% of people thinking Nebraska would at least make a bowl game this year. That's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
But we are now, let's see, little update.
Over 1,100 votes.
Yeah, we're pushing almost 80% now. 80% of you believe Nebraska will at least get to 6 wins in the regular season. 53% to be exact believe 6-6 or 7-5. 25.9% 8-4 or better. And when you compare that to where we were a month ago, when we started spring football, fall camp.
Yeah.
The combined votes of the 6-6, 7-5, or 8-4 or better crowd was just a shade over 73%. So we've gained about another 5 percentage points.
And it's basically all in the most positive.
Yes.
It's all in the 8-4 or better crowd.
Yeah.
Wow. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, because it was 20% 8-4 or better a month ago. It's almost 26% today. So barf practice, puke practice, Scott Frost looking disheveled at Big Ten Media Days. None of that stuff matters.
No.
People are drinking the Kool-Aid, which is what they have always done, right on up to the very precipice of the season starting.
And now 5 days from now, the game will probably be in the fourth quarter. And what's going to happen there?
Yeah, 5 days from now, it will be in the
that
fourth
moment.
quarter.
5 days from right now, what will be happening on the football field overseas?
It's such a mystery.
It is indeed a mystery, Nick. It's indeed a mystery.
It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, tied up with a questionable bow.
Pelini?
No, bow, as in a bow, as in a like B-O-W.
What's a questionable bow?
I don't know. It's just a lot of questions.
A badly tied bow.
Yeah. We don't know if the bow is actually serving a functional purpose, if it's a decorative purpose, if it looks good. We don't know. We really won't know. And it is rather fascinating. Just we're finally going to at least be able to see something.
I know.
And again,
I just can't wait.
I will start the week by cautioning folks, don't overreact to game one.
Dumbest thing you could ever say.
That's not that. What do you mean?
Telling fans not to overreact to the first football game they're watching in 9 months. That is so idiotic. Of course they're going to overreact.
That doesn't listen. It may be swimming upstream, but it's still common sense.
I'm just saying, like you're telling people to, like when you said don't put all your eggs in the frost basket. That train, dude, has left the station.
I understand
you can't
it's left,
stop it.
But it's gonna be very easy to overreact to the first game,
especially if
because I
lose.
think honestly, I think there is a chance we will be overreacting to a really good performance.
That's called the post-game show, Big Red Overreaction.
Right.
It's in the name, John.
And I would
it's
be
also
careful.
on Spotify and iTunes.
There you go. Spotify and iTunes.
I would also be careful of overreacting to something overly positive.
John, it's called the name. It's the name of the show. You're
I don't care. I'm not on the stupid show.
Stupid show. It's a great show.
I'm sure it's great.
It is great. It's called Overreaction. That's what we're supposed to do.
You overact about Big Red.
Yeah. Yes. At 402-951-1620. Those other guys are still playing commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial.
Oh, you'll be able to text in your overreactions now, too.
Thank you for reminding me to open the text machine there, Nick. Much appreciated. 402-951-1620.
What did you guys do without me last week?
We didn't have a whole lot of drops. So it was the same as when we usually have you, Nick. Same as when we usually have you.
I'll be the guy. I'll be the little message board on Interstate 8 that says, hey, hazardous weather. Please drive at a safe speed. People would be like, screw that. A little ice never hurt anybody. And meanwhile, a 75-car pileup later,
jeez,
my message board will be able to say, I told you so. So I guess I'll be the message board on Interstate 80.
John Bishop, the message board?
Yeah.
Is that who you really want to be?
Some message boards, Josh, do serve a functional purpose.
I agree. I just never heard you say that.
The message board as a nickname sounds like some kind of conspiracy person.
I like message boards. I still get on them. I don't participate, but I read them. Yeah.
Yeah, official Husker fan of Dallas is triggered. Y'all have a postgame show with overreaction in the name. It's in our nature as Husker fans. Well, I'm just cautioning you. That's all.
No, I agree with you. If they win, pump the brakes.
Of course, but if they get beat, you'll be like, the sky is falling.
Because it will be.
If they win, we can change it to Big Red whelming reaction.
That's why I'm actually, if you're going to tell me that there's going to be a 3-1 start, I will be the one out there hoping that they lose to Northwestern and beat Oklahoma.
What the message board heard is John wants Nebraska to lose to Northwestern.
No. I put the if on there. The if was, if the fairy godmother of football comes down and says, John, they're going to go 3-1. I'm just not going to tell you how they get there. I will be the one rooting for a loss to Northwestern and a win over Oklahoma, so I can point my finger at all you who are going to be overreacting and say, I told you so.
That'd be a lot of fun. It would. Yeah, Brian says, what's the road to a bowl game if Nebraska loses toward Northwestern? I don't think that road exists.
402. Now I'm going to double down on this.
What, lose and then beat Oklahoma?
I'm going to double down on this.
Negative boys.
402-951-1620. Either call or text. John at 1620thezone.com. Josh at 1620thezone.com. Equitable Bank inbox. J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed is where you can vote in our poll question.
Vote.
at USC 1620.
Or vote on the other one. Is teal closer to blue or green?
Oh,
That's still like 50-50 because that's hilarious.
Let's check in. It is 192 votes. It is dead even
I love
50-50.
this.
Wow, what a time to be alive.
Did we ever look up technically if,
I did get an email from somebody. It seems like Nick might be right, but we weren't going to read that email.
Oh, what did you say, Nick? I forgot.
He says it's a blue.
It's a blue.
It's more closer to blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, John sent in. Let me just find it real fast. He says teal on the color wheel is a dark shade of blue that is mixed with green. If you were to create the color using paints, it can be created by mixing 50-50 parts of blue and green. Using primary colors, it is created by using 1/4 yellow and 3/4 blue. So Nick's right. Bummer. Yeah, that sucks.
I love the color wheel. It fixes all my it solves all my arguments for me. It's like
Just
when I
your
said
color arguments.
orange is just a light shade of brown.
Meanwhile,
brown is a
any
dark
other
orange.
time, Nick, in your life.
Meanwhile, the color wheel to Josh is like
Yeah,
an
thanks, Nick.
algebra problem. It's like, I
Again.
can't figure this out.
Again, I have this issue, and you're just crapping all over me like I'm a trough.
Do you get a tag, a parking tag?
I should. Colorblind. I need that. It's tough. Sometimes I can't tell what color is it green, is it
Anymore, I
red?
wouldn't be shocked if they actually did give out, parking tags for people who are colorblind.
Wow, are you making fun of people with disabilities?
Do you have a
No, I'm
special-
making fun of people who are colorblind.
Do you have a
Whoa!
special thing on your license?
Come on, guys. This is my disability here.
Like, I have a disability too, Josh.
Do you?
Yes, I'm blind without my glasses.
Well, you should call my friends at Cougar
On the
Vision.
back of your license, when you
I thought
check
they teach you
off
one
whether or not you want to donate your
Oh, I got-
organs,
yeah,
do
donate
you
my
have an
organs.
extra box
Oh,
that says, but not my eyes?
Yeah. You,
Actually, if you
colors would
have
be mixed
eyes,
up.
give me those eyes.
I
Oh.
feel sorry for the poor bastard that gets your eyes. Wait a minute. What are you telling me? They're blue.
I can't wait to go back to my summer home on the beach and see the blue ocean.
Is it not blue?
No, the ocean is blue.
I don't know what that
Blue
joke was then, Nick.
Well, because he has your eyes. The bit that we're doing can't see blue.
But I can see the blue ocean.
Okay, well, no, because he's like, I can't wait to
I
see
can
the
tell
blue
the
ocean.
ocean
And then
is
he gets
blue.
there, and then it's
I
like,
can tell
can't
it's
see the
blue.
ocean.
I can see it's blue.
Well, yeah, but I was.
Let's go to break.
We're going to go to break.
Yeah.
And Jack Mitchell's going to be joining us shortly.
Awesome.
And we'll preview our Break the Curse event coming up on Thursday at Haymarket Park
Nice.
on 1620 The Zone.
You could win $5,000 to have the ultimate tailgate party on 1620 The Zone. Enter now at 1620thezone.com.
As the end of summer draws near, the vacation season is just starting for customers at Greenberg's Jewelers. For a very limited time, when you make a purchase of $3,000 or more at Greenberg's, you'll get a $500 gift card to use for airfare to one of over 100 destinations in the U.S. and Mexico. If you were thinking about an engagement ring in the next few months, it's time to buy the ring now. Considering a gorgeous diamond pendant or anniversary ring? Get it now from Greenberg's and get free airfare. Imagine the look on her face when the engagement is topped off with a honeymoon or vacation to Cancun, Las Vegas, New York City, Los Angeles, or one of many other destinations. Greenberg's has the absolute latest styles in jewelry, stackable rings, stunning solitaires, love story rings, dazzling pendants, and of course, hearts on fire diamonds are all at Greenberg's. And get a $500 airfare gift card from Greenberg's Jewelers with any purchase of $3,000 or more. But hurry, a deal like this won't last. Greenberg's Jewelers, West Roads Mall, a cut above the rest. Some restrictions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Celebrate Septemberfest, Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 5th outside the CHI Center. There are games, carnival rides, and food, plus clowns, robots, and a KCBC barbecue cook-off. Friday, there's Omaha Fight Club boxing on Saturday, and epic music all weekend long, including Shoot to Thrill on Sunday. Monday, it's the Labor Day Parade through downtown at 10 a.m., along with the All-American Car Show. Septemberfest at CHI Center, Lot D. Click SeptemberFestOmaha.org for times and parking info.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time.
Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
You're listening to Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson on 1620 The Zone.
Well, because the schedule due to the travel was messed up a little bit, Nebraska's media obligation that they normally do on Mondays was moved to Sunday. And Scoffraw did address puke practice. It's perfect. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it.
Good. We can move on. Are we done with puke?
Apparently so.
Forever?
But here, if you missed it, here's what Scott Frost said. And by the way, this was during his opening statement. He did an
He
opening.
doesn't give those.
He did give an opening statement.
Awesome.
And this was about 51 seconds of his opening statement on #puke practice.
Want to touch on the O-line things I said earlier this week. I was trying to portray how hard the O-line had been working and how proud of them I am.
Which is kind of what we all thought.
Might have exaggerated puking a little bit, but
just a little.
The important thing is I want to make sure everybody understands our training staff and weight staff do an unbelievable job of keeping me abreast of everything going on at practice. We have monitors, heart monitors. We know their complete output. We cut back practice if we think it's getting too hard or guys have spent too much. I talked about our practices this camp have been 3 on and 1 off, which is all an attempt to try to keep them healthy and fresh. So I know a lot got made out of that. I can assure you between Mark and the weight staff and I, we're doing absolutely everything to keep these guys healthy, and that's our number one priority.
I will say this, and let's start the week
positively.
With a compliment. I thought this was the exact correct way to handle this.
Yeah, for sure.
Not leave it up to a question, not ignore it and try to play it and basically force somebody to ask him about it, but to come out to address it. There was a part of me that thought, and I didn't see it live. I watched it after it had happened, but there was a part of me that as I was going back through Twitter, I thought I was going to see, man, Frost looks like he's kind of pissed off, because I guarantee you that when Frost found out that those comments caused the firestorm that it did, he was not happy.
Correct.
Not happy at all.
Correct.
And there might have been a reaction to say, well, screw it, I'm not talking about that. And you want a statement from me? I'm not giving you a statement.
Yeah.
But the fact that, he came out, he clarified it, much to the way most of us thought he was being over the top. In trying to use hyperbole to pump up the offensive line. I thought they did a fine job of addressing it and moving on. Now, is it going to, silence all of the critics? I mean, the ammunition is already out there. Probably not. But from this person's perspective, you address it, you deal with it, you move on. And by the way, there were no follow-ups on it.
Because there doesn't need to be.
Because it didn't need to be.
Yeah, we talked about Friday. It was a dumb thing to get into. The only reason that we ended up talking about it as much as we didn't, I didn't even think we talked about it that much, thankfully, was because it blew up nationally.
And by the way, you can say what you want. It did blow up nationally. And before you get all message boardy on me,
is this a good or a bad?
This is a bad message board,
Okay.
and say, well, it's just a bunch of youngs and millennials and softies, snowflakes, and blah blah this and blah blah that. There were a lot of people, like professional athletes, who were opining, and others.
You mean like former offensive and defensive linemen, like really big, strong, not snowflakey type humans?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we can all get, politically general if we want to be, and get all, Fox noisy and, MSNBC noisy if we want. But, there were folks that brought up those concerns. And to the defense of those critics, most of them don't know that, yes, Frost does have a tendency to use hyperbole, like he did with the Adrian Martinez injury situation, or like saying we're going to be really dangerous. I mean, it's one of the things he kind of does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you're right. They didn't know it. I'm with you. Good on him for just coming out and talking about it right away. Moving on.
Yeah.
And now we can all move on.
All move on.
Chris says,
That is until the Fox cameras find someone vomiting on the sidelines.
Dude, Happer mentioned that today. Can you imagine if one of the players throws up, the look on his face, if that happens?
And by the way, I am not rooting for that to happen because I don't want to be there for the takes.
You don't have to do overreaction.
I have to be here next week.
If that happens.
It'll still be going on if that happens. By the way, people forget. I'm surprised I didn't even mention this.
What?
One of the famous anecdotes about one of the greatest plays, if not the greatest play in Nebraska football history, Johnny Rodgers, after the punt return,
Puke
came to the sidelines and
his
threw
guts
up.
out.
Yep.
Well, because he was probably thinking about Irish food.
Well, they were in Norman.
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
Good Irish food.
Oh, that's right.
In
You weren't here
Norman,
last week.
Oklahoma?
He wasn't here last week. He missed out on the Irish food bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I like potatoes.
I still think we were partially responsible for it.
We
because
talked
of
about
us,
it all day, that whole
because
show.
of the whole team going into a fit of vomiting because they had to eat Irish food.
And then hours later, Frost's like, my guys won't stop puking.
I do kind of feel responsible.
Well, I'm still laughing. My favorite part of that whole thing was that headline that was like, Scott Frost names Casey Thompson starter. Team won't stop puking. Like, that was so perfect. That was so good.
All right, so we're done with puking.
We're done with puking.
For now.
Yeah, that's true.
But then Jack Mitchell's coming up. And for those of you watching it on the stream. All right, we'll be back and get ready for breaking curses. You know what happens sometimes to people who get cursed?
What?
They throw up pea soup and their heads spin around
That's
really fast.
true. Will Jack promise to do that on Thursday? Just vomiting everywhere?
Find out next on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Of course, we had a great time on Friday for the 5th annual Golf Flash. We hope to see you there next year for the 6th annual. And, I've talked so much over, really the last 5 years about the lessons that I've had with Mike Faber and being able to apply them. Well, it's so fun, when I play another round of golf and the discussions, the teachings that he has given me play out for me on the golf course. Was able to participate in a scramble over the weekend. And look, if you ever golfed with me before, you know that I'm not really that good off the tee with the driver. I struggled a bit with the driver. My iron work was okay, but man, get me around the green, get me on the green. And I was able to save a few pars. We weren't very good, but I was able to save a few pars, get us within shouting distance to putt in some of those pars. And all of it was because of the recent lessons that I've had with Mike Faber. He has had specific things for me, things I had never learned before about when you're around the green, and a different way to putt when I am on the green. And it was the biggest difference between us losing out on a few more strokes and gaining a few more strokes. Maybe you're awesome off the tee. Maybe your iron work is really, really good, but you get on the green and you get within 8 to 10 feet and you're 2-putting, maybe a little longer, and you're 3-putting. Get those problems in the past. Give them a call today at 402-498-0220 and find out about lessons so you can finish better when you're on the green, you can start better when you're on the tee box, or anything in between. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit, or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
There are actually two kinds of cigars. The first is the one you smoke with beloved family and friends. The second, the one you enjoy with friends you've just met. And you'll find both at Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge. At Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, there's a well-stocked humidor with some of the best bands from around the world and a bar with your favorite cocktails and other drinkables. So what do you say? Which cigar will you be enjoying tonight? Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 and 48th Street next to Cubby's.
Email Unsportsmanlike Conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. Maybe that's why we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. So what's up with the other 7%?
Everyone, meet our newest employee, Susan. She has an idea that is going to revolutionize our food ordering.
Hi, Susan. So nice to meet you.
Unfortunately, she just gave her notice, and today is her last day.
I'm gonna miss her.
Why don't all companies order through EasyCater? Who knows? Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on easycater.com. EasyCater, food for work. That's our thing.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
You wearing ratty jackets from Stephen Barry's. Praying one day Big Red will win the NIT.
Ham is the water of meats.
Ham's the water of meats.
Ham is the water of meats.
No more need for bacon.
Ham is the water of meats.
All right. Well, the two people who most like to make fun of my very rare foibles are here, and I thought I'd share a story that happened this weekend. So
rare.
Yeah, it's rare. It's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So the back was kind of tightening up. I took Wrigley for a morning walk on Saturday, and the back was tightening up. And so I went to the wife's the wife's bathroom, which is the master bath, because she always has the good meds in there, right? To take some ibuprofen or some acetaminophen, aka Tylenol. And she likes to buy the Target brand, so it's the generic label because it's cheaper and it works just as well. And I saw the bottle and it said acetaminophen on it. Didn't think much of it. Took a couple, went about my day. About an hour later, I am dog ass tired. I mean, normally Saturday is the day where I, do a lot of chores and things, just kind of stuff around the house. And I'm like falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up taking an hour nap. Then we went to Saturday afternoon church. Basically slept through that, which is par for the course. Then, the son, Sam and I, he wants to go to the races at Eagle. So, I was dragging.
Yeah.
And the wife's like, why are you so tired? I said, I don't know. I come back home and she's like, I think I realized, where did you get that acetaminophen? I said, from your bathroom. She said, that was the Tylenol PM. And I'm like, Well, why did you get the Tylenol PM? She said, I've been using it because she's been taking it at night to help her sleep better at night. And well, the good news is that stuff works.
There you go.
I mean, that stuff works. As I was dragging, but I was like, I did think it was funny when I poured that out into my hand that they were blue instead of like, I think they're.
That would have been the immediate, like, oh crap, I grabbed the
But
PM.
again, when you buy Tylenol, Tylenol comes in a red bottle, and I think Tylenol PM is blue. Well, this bottle was red.
Okay.
And it did say acetaminophen PM, but the
bottle
PM
is red, or like
isn't
I thought
regular
they were all
Tylenol
white.
red?
I thought they were white bottles.
Red and white. Isn't that what Tylenol?
Well,
is?
maybe the label was. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Listen, hearing this, I'm concerned at some point you're going to accidentally get yourself into an opioid addiction. Just taking whatever's going, whatever you find in certain.
Well, it did say acetaminophen on the label. I just didn't see the tiny little PM next to it.
Tiny. I need a picture of this when you get home.
I took one time when we were doing the show, I couldn't get to sleep one night, and I was freaking out, and it was still early, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna do the show on no sleep? And I took like an Advil PM when it was like probably 1 a.m. That's a bad choice when you're getting up 3 hours, 3.5 hours later. I learned the hard way driving to 44th and O that morning when I realized I was like, I need to sleep, and I need to sleep now at a stoplight or anywhere.
Drinking game. So, when I go for my long runs on Saturday, I'll take a melatonin on Friday just because I don't want to stay up because I'm waking up too early and I'm not trying to like lay in bed for an hour, not being able to fall asleep. And I've gotten really good at, knowing exactly what time to take it. But man, you take it just a little too late and you wake up and you're exhausted for hours at a time.
Even with melatonin? I have never had a melatonin.
Well, I mean, if I only sleep for like 4 hours.
How many grams are you taking?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Just take one. Just start.
Yeah. Oh, I just do the one. Yeah. And
I
figured it out. I'm going to take it in Chicago. It's great. Helps me sleep.
All right. Good. Great.
Yeah. That's melatonin talk.
Well, John, be careful around medicine cabinets.
Oh man.
Seriously.
Jeez.
Never buys anytime she buys the generic, it's always just regular acetaminophen or ibuprofen. But this time it was acetaminophen PM.
John, you're gonna be careful. John's gonna come over to my house for dinner, walk into the bathroom, and like, yeah, I need a little something. I'm painful. I say, John, you just took meth. What are you doing?
Well, you are the two guys that were spraying random crap on your legs.
No, not you guys. He was the one who sprayed.
It was the bug spray that was provided for me. Okay,
why are you messing your medicine cabinet, Jack?
Great question that somehow
glossed over. What's the name of it? It's the medicine cabinet. I don't have any, but if I did, I guess that's where I'd put it.
People forget it was cocaine cola back in the day.
Oh,
people forget about the
medicine cabinet, not methadone.
Oh, have I been pronouncing that wrong? Okay.
Oh man,
all this time you've been wrong. All this time. Well, this Thursday at Haymarket Park is the Break the Curse event. We are attempting through a variety of means to try to bring to an end the curse that has befallen this program since the early 2000s. Some say it even started earlier than that, but
yours truly said it started earlier.
But it's free admission. Yep. We got plenty of space there at Haymarket Park.
Jack, they're selling booze, right? We keep saying this. They're selling beer.
Yes.
Oh,
beer. I know. I don't know what all of the selections will be, but there will be beer there for certain. Okay. I don't know what the full menu is, but there will be. But it's also family friendly. I mean, kids can come too. It's not going to be an X-rated show.
It's like going to be an Assault Dogs game, or it's
it's like being we'll have concession stands open. Yep, no baseball, just curse breaking. The only thing we're going to be knocking out of the park is the curses that have hurt us for the last 2 decades.
Awesome.
And I have agreed. I'm bringing some of the Mount Buck dirt.
Thank you.
Good.
To sprinkle upon the field, because we believe that the gateway to the Upside Down might be centered either at Buck Belzer or at Haymarket Park, because
that's where it all began.
Because this team, even though it's a baseball stadium, it opened in 2002, and Nebraska hasn't played in a national championship game since 2001.
I will lay out the theory in more detail, but I think there's a non-zero chance that Buck Belzer from the Great Beyond is controlling the outcome of Nebraska football games. And I think we need to make an offering to him. I think we did him wrong, which we shouldn't have. And I think we need, and that's just one of the things. Like I've said to many people, we are covering all of our bases. We are covering all of our bases, all of the possible things. If any of them might work, we're willing to try it on Thursday night. So please tell us. Now is not the time to clam up with your cockeyed theories that are going to get you made fun of. We need to know what they are so we can, in case you're right, perform whatever needs to be performed and take care of this and have the greatest fall of our lives.
Yeah.
At least since the 90s.
All of our lives.
At least since the 90s of your life, maybe.
I don't know if I'm going to promise 15-0.
I don't know how powerful. There's no telling what kind of power we are going to unleash, Josh.
That's true.
I mean, listen, maybe everything goes back to normal. Maybe all of a sudden it's like this has been a huge nap since 1999 or whenever it became.
We wake up.
Everything goes back to normal, which means the entire West Stadium collapses and the old press box comes back.
Okay, not that kind. But there is a non-zero
back in the stadium. Oh, it's going to be great.
Now
there is again a non-zero chance that when the curse is lifted, the football program goes to the level of success it directly had when it started. Whenever, and there are various theories on when that is. Josh likes to go a little earlier with it. There are some think it was during 01. There are some who think it was during 02. And there are some who think that it was when Frank Solich left. So there's about a 4-year period-ish we're working with where this might have happened, or actually more like a 5-year, 6-year period where it's working with. And there's a chance you wake up Friday morning and it is the early 2000s again for the purposes of Nebraska football. There's a chance. And you might be able to be a part of it.
Ooh,
the more people that
watch Monday Nitro.
Right.
Option will be back.
It'll be fantastic. What's his name? Dennis Miller will be back on Monday Night Football this fall.
Oh, God. Lisa Guerrero on the sideline.
Oh, well, okay. Now I'm definitely in. I'm all there.
God, I forgot Dennis Miller on Monday Night Football.
Uh-huh.
So that's Thursday, Haymarket Park. It's absolutely free.
Yeah.
The
you do have to spend money on the concessions.
Yes.
But those aren't.
Yeah, we're not just... We can't give free beer and stuff away. Yes,
if you want tab, let's go.
If you want to eat or drink, you will have to pay money for that, but that's it. That's it.
And for those of you who are going to whichever one of the ICEs are playing at the arena.
ISIS?
Yeah.
You're promising them again?
That was the joke from last week, Jack, was I couldn't remember who was performing at the arena. So I said, I think it's one of the two ices.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Which turned into
three
ISIS.
Ices, right? Vanilla, Ice
Cube, and tea.
Ice Cube. Yeah. So there are three of them.
It's going to be Cube, FYI. It's Cube.
Okay. Good. Good to know.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah, because that concert's going on. So you can always pop over, come across the pedestrian bridge, pop over, break a little curse, and then go back over and watch the show.
Along those lines, I got a text from somebody in the 402 says, stopping to reverse the curse on my way to Ice Cube and Cypress Hill at PBA.
You know what?
Thank you, unnamed person.
You can truly say it was a good day after that's over. That song is really going to mean something.
Reference, John, to a song.
I don't know what you're talking
Which, by the way,
it was a good day.
There you go.
Okay. Yes. And by the way, was describing a day in what decade?
90s.
The 90s. So it's all coming together. I mean, this is a lineup. They got Bone Thugs and Harmony there. They got Ice Cube there. They got Cypress Hill. I mean, if we were trying to bring back 1995, there couldn't be, there couldn't be much of a more 1995 rap lineup possible in 96 than that group. So it's fantastic. But did you guys see my tweet from about 10 minutes ago?
No.
Did you see what I've acquired?
No.
I don't have it with me yet. I don't have it with me for the camera. You'll have to come to actually see this. But I have acquired straight from Ireland an Irish wishing stone. Okay.
What is
a tradition? This is a stone.
This isn't another thing they put in their breakfast, is it?
Oh,
this is a stone, and it's made of marble from Connemara, which is a region in County Galway. And the Celts, is it the Celts or the Celts? The Celts believed
Celts are in Boston.
The Celts believed that it provided protection from curses and other worries and things going wrong in your life. And what it is, it's about, it's about the size. It's probably about 2-3 inches long. And then it's got a little indentation for you to put your thumb in.
Are we sure this isn't just one of the pieces of the Pound the Rock that got fractured into a boot?
No, but we could look for that too.
Man.
This is the new Pound the Rock, and there you put your thumb in. I don't know if it's like a touch screen or how it works, but when you do that, that is supposed to ward you off from evil and curses. Okay.
So you're asking people to stick their finger in something?
Yeah, we want. I mean, this is not during the COVID era, so everyone can touch it right now. I want everyone to, and there are certain ways that you need to activate it. I've been doing a lot of read on.
Well, yeah,
Celtic.
usually it's an up and down motion that gets it activated. But
Wow. I've been reading I'm just going to keep going. I've been reading Celtic lore, folklore, trying to find out what we need to do. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but hopefully by Thursday, I'll know how to make this thing work. Right. And then here's what I think we need to do. You know how the Washington State flag goes to every college game day?
Yes.
I know you guys don't watch that show and you don't like it, but you at least know
but I
right?
know the tradition. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
I think we need to get that stone now somehow to every Nebraska game after the Ireland game. Okay, we're going to activate it and get it going, get it hot, and then we need to make sure somebody's got it at the game and passes it to someone who's going to the next game. And that might be the thing that does it. I don't know if it's going to be Buck. I don't know if it's going to be some of the things that we might destroy in one way or another. I just don't know what it is, but that also might be the thing. And so I'm going to continue to do my research. We're going to be using the Irish, which I can't think of a better time. And the Irish are big on curses and breaking curses, which you may not have known. I'm learning about it right now.
They're also big on trashing Nebraska in their media, but that's another story.
Okay, that writer lives in New York.
I know. It was a joke.
I know.
It's just a joke. But
you guys don't seem that excited. I got this from the literal mountains of Ireland. Oh my gosh. And
I think it's great. Jack, I can't stop reading a lot of tweets about you saying 2 to 3 inches and everyone touching it. I'm sorry. I was taking screenshots. That's what's going on for me right now. So like, Dave, 2 to 3 inches and you put your thumb in it. What am I listening to? Andrew says not the first time. Jack said it's about 2 to 3 inches long.
Okay. When that freaking thing ends up in the College Football Hall of Fame, I'm going to rewatch this and all of your juvenile jokes and comments that I have, that, I and we,
not mine,
and the power of the Irish have warded off evil. We have protection. We now have protection.
Is this the new version of Dave Weber's corn cob? Is that what this is? Is this the new corn cob?
Dave, bring your corn cob.
Does Dave still have
bring
it?
that corn cob back. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Dave still got the corn cob. I'm pretty sure of it.
He brought it.
Dave's a friend of the program.
Yes, he is. We saw him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
he spoke
at Neil's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he spoke to one of my high school classes once, and he had the corn cob with him. Now this was like 20 years ago almost, but he still had the corn cob then.
I wonder if he would let us. I mean, we'll take care of it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe that should be there too. Cover all bases.
That would be awesome.
Cover.
Wait, you need to destroy the corn cob? Is that what's
No.
happening?
I'm not saying destroy it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe if we
rub in some epoxy so that it keeps it intact,
But what if we rub the Irish worry stone on that thing and we bring together two forces that are unstoppable when combined?
Will the cob fit in the stone? Little hole.
Okay.
Yeah. How big's the hole?
See, look at you did it again. You did it again. You did it again.
It's not. We can listen. You guys want 20 more years of this? Fine. You have your jokes. 20 more years of you guys having to talk about coaches being fired, and you'll have your jokes.
Well, Josh actually likes that part. So
no, I don't.
No,
it's not fun. Not anymore. Look, you know what I said during the whole Bo Pelini era was like, man, I just want a coaching search in the Twitter era. And then we got Mike Riley, and then like the most obvious hire of all time. We haven't even had a fun coaching search yet.
So that's what I'm saying. You want a fun coaching search.
I mean, one would be pretty cool.
I'm doing the heavy lifting for actually breaking the curse, and you guys are it's giggle time for you. And it's sad. We have the potential to change everything.
All right, well, here you go, Jack. Chris in Montana. What Jack is talking about is of the utmost importance, more so than any game prep the coaches are doing. You know damn well Fitzgerald's doing the exact same thing because of his Irish ancestry. He's got the leg up on us.
Yes.
Is this true?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I didn't include that in keys to the game for Friday.
Fitz is Irish.
Oh, boy.
Fitz is Irish. People forget. Oh, you know what also people forget about him?
What?
Great coach. Great coach.
He's a really good coach.
You know what else they forget? Loves his players.
Yeah.
You know what else they forget? Loves the game.
He does.
People forget that. You know what else people forget? Has almost the same Big Ten record as Mike Riley.
It's really good that you guys work
But
together.
he does have 2 division titles.
He does have 2 division titles. You guys, sometimes I'm reminded that you are the same person where you still hold grudges from like all the COVID stuff from like ESPN. Like you hate everybody still from ESPN.
Well, yeah, because they were morons.
And Jack still hates media members commenting on Pat Fitzgerald like a decade ago. Like this is like a decade-old grudge that he's holding right now.
A decade? It never stops.
That's true.
He's a good coach, Jack. What do you want us to say?
He has the same Big Ten record as Mike Riley, Josh. Stop it.
2 division championships, 2 of them.
After how many years?
I mean,
Mike Riley by that point probably would have got some too. Should we have stuck with him in that record?
I mean, you probably were arguing so.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Jack.
Wow.
This
is getting.
You're going to come on and you are going to spend. I basically go into the mountains of Ireland myself, essentially. And I basically chiseled this off, so to speak. And then you are defending Fitzgerald. What is this? An Evanston radio show? What am I listening to?
Well, I used to like him. I don't like him anymore as a person. I do think he's a good coach, though.
What's wrong with him as a person?
He always is crying about kids these days. They have cell phones. Shut up, Pat.
All right. So you would say it's the slightly below 500 record that appeals to you in the conference. That's the thing that you like.
You can't talk like this when you still defend Scott Frost and his 15-29 overall record, man.
I'm just saying you shouldn't have fired him last year. Don't put words in my mouth. I said you shouldn't have fired him last year.
Really under 500?
I'm not saying he's God's gift to football coaching right now.
Yeah.
Oh God, you've been sucked into the media narrative. It's unbelievable.
I've always said this about Fitzgerald. I picked him to win the Big Ten West back in 2013. Or what was it? The
Josh, I didn't know it. Josh is a sheeple. Josh is a sheeple. I didn't know. Do your own research, Josh. There are Wikipedia pages with his record on it that I can send you.
My own research, and I was like, he's good. He's good.
Well, if we don't,
this is not starting well.
We'll have another. You have another reason to join us on Thursdays to watch Jack and Josh go tooth, fang, and
fight
claw.
to the death. Oh, speaking of that, where was the email? Money Chris says, if we lose to Northwestern, can we use that stone to stone Jack Mitchell to death? Whoa. Jack, do you want to promise this, that if they lose, you can get murdered?
Get the eggs?
Yeah, Josh once, when he was wrong, volunteered to get eggs thrown at him.
Yeah, do you want to get stoned?
Nope, you can't. They came up 86,000 signatures short.
Sad.
Well, my response is going to be, if that happens, the stone needs to be in the stadium next time. So we need to make sure that happens. So there may be.
Remember how they used to throw oranges on the field? We could start chucking stones onto the field.
Dear God. Oh my! Yep. Well, this did not go the way I thought.
I did not. We're coming into this Thursday with a newly adversarial relationship here that I'm just not used to having with you, Josh. It's sad.
Zachary says, "Is Jack going to burn Josh to break the curse?" Feels like it at this point. You're not going to murder me,
there does need to be some kind of human sacrifice.
Is Josh some kind of a secret agent for the curse? Are you part of Big Curse?
Well,
have you been signed? Are you an agent for Big Curse?
So my first ever season that I remember front to back was 1997. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Happer's first season was like 2001, though, so he is much more to blame for all this than me. That said, Jack, my first year of college, 2007. That was a bad year. I was excited for Sam Keller. Does that make me a sicko? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it should have been Joey Gans.
Maybe it is my fault.
The world thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Have you picked your record? This is prediction week. Do you have your record? Can we put your name down?
Oh my gosh!
board?
Last year I did this, and I just got to see every time you guys reminded me of how bad it was. I'm a little concerned.
It was pretty bad. I mean, I don't know if you know this. The season didn't go very well.
Well, hold on. I need to know: is Josh actually going to try at the curse event before I pick my record? Because
that
will impact it.
No, I'm burning an item, and I think it's going to be a very
I don't
good
know. I don't know how many times I can tell you guys we can only burn wood.
All right. Well, I will explode the item in a different way that will be allowed. I promise
you can
that.
destroy an item.
Knife.
Are you going to use it to wipe your rear end with it?
No.
There are definitely other ways you can destroy items, and I'm planning on employing that method too. But
okay, good.
As long if so, in the scenario where Josh is going to put his heart into breaking the curse,
yes, of course,
His cold black heart.
his cold black heart, and
But
he's
I
going to
can't
take it seriously, and he
Yeah.
is truly a curse fighter.
Yeah.
I will
A
say
curse
this now.
fighter.
Let
A
me
curse
pull up
fighter.
this. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to do? This is hard. This is what I really think. Like, gun to my head, I had to be accurate on the whole thing. Is that
That's
what
you
this
have to
is?
do. Yes,
Yeah.
Not what you hope for, not what you wish for. What you
would
think
have,
will
I mean,
actually
we'll
happen.
put it on the board. You'll have bragging rights, like Farron got bragging rights last year. For
I know. I kept getting compared to how right he was on this whole thing. Your Major League Baseball correspondent. It was tough to take. So I don't know what validity this has.
Husker expert Mike Farron.
You can all laugh at me, but
he's gonna say 8-4.
whether it's that the curse got broken, whether it's the law of averages can't go on forever, I just believe the universe can't do this to us again. So with that in mind, Northwestern, I got to go through here because I don't have a number in my head. Northwestern win. Northwestern
Boom,
win.
1-0.
North Dakota win.
2-0.
Georgia Southern win.
3-0.
Oklahoma loss.
Oh, sad. 3-1.
Indiana win.
4-1.
Rutgers win.
Oh, you just gave him fuel. I would make that a loss now.
That's true.
Indiana
You
just
said
put that
Rutgers
on the
win. They're
board.
5-1 right now, or should I do it this way?
Yeah,
Rutgers win. Purdue win.
Ooh, Greg and Lincoln.
Illinois win.
So they're
7-1.
Minnesota
stretch.
Minnesota win.
8. Oh my God, he's going 9.
Michigan loss.
8-2.
Wisconsin win.
9-2.
Oh, and by then you don't
You're
even need
going
to play.
10-2,
You don't even need to play that Iowa game. That's a dub. 10-2. Boom! It's all over. Welcome back to the glory of the early 2000s, everyone. Enjoy the party on Saturday night.
The positive.
There it is.
Positive boys.
It's on the board.
The long national nightmare or statewide nightmare is over, and we are about to soak it in and get the joy we so badly deserve.
Congratulations.
10-2.
10-2.
ladies and gentlemen.
So that was losses to what? Oklahoma and Michigan?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's a Big 10 title game berth, isn't it?
Yeah. If they only lose one game, well, yes, because they swept the division.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna pick what happens to them versus.
I'm
Ohio
not.
State?
No, I'm not gonna say what happens against Maryland, but I'm not gonna say what happens in that game.
All right.
Oh boy, this could be a very interesting looking board.
By the way, Sipple's not on today, but his prediction is 7-5. So if we want to put Sipple's up there, his
Husker hater.
Yeah, he was
Husker
like,
hater in the media.
My heart says 7-5 or 8-4, but my head says 7-5 or something like that. I think is what he said. There you go. Okay.
Am I the highest yet? Literally,
well, you're
literally
the
the
first. Yeah. So yeah.
But
so tomorrow we'll have Brunts and Farron tomorrow.
Brunson Farron. And Farron kind of teased a few weeks ago that he's already got his number in mind, and it kind of felt like he might be more of a positive
I think he'll
boy
be a positive
this year.
boy. We'll have Schaefer on Wednesday. We'll have Ravi and Robin on Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't think we get Damon's prediction for the record, but we'll.
Well, we could. Why not?
And then
You
Kent.
get anyone's.
But we don't have Baz anymore on Fridays. All right.
We could still get Baz's. We could.
Should we
ask
text him?
Yeah, we could text him.
Okay, I'll send him a message.
And then ours. I mean, I want a complete rundown so we know who to shame.
Jordan says 10-2. Jack knows that marijuana won't be on the ballot and is still illegal, right?
That was medical marijuana.
Okay, hold on. The combination. Let's just say the combination of the curse thing working.
Yeah.
The combination of me being the one right on your whiteboard and the combination of me just being an insufferable winner is going to make this the fall of Jack.
Means
and I will
2
tell
and
you
10 is probably on the board.
No.
Jack, the last time I said something was the year of Josh, I got divorced. So don't, be super confident about
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Although I think I'm destroying a gift my wife gave me during the curse party.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe.
All right.
All right, there it is. So again, Break the Curse event this Thursday. The program will be there live. We'll be doing the show.
Yeah.
And I believe 4:30 is when the gates open, right? And
4:30. Yeah, it's free.
And it's absolutely free. Killigans will start playing around 6.
They can listen to you guys an hour and a half of your show first, which will be a great day to listen to the show. because it'll
Oh,
be. I don't know. What you
that's
have,
the day that we give our predictions.
Oh, is that when we're doing?
Yeah, that's when we're
should
doing.
win, might win,
yeah.
can win, won't win.
You'll be doing that at the curse party.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, during the happy hour.
Oh God.
Yeah, so you can mock him while Josh goes through the list of games Nebraska won't win.
Listen,
it'll be like that old
Might
Dan
win.
Aykroyd, point counterpoint when Aykroyd would always say, "Jane, you ignorant slut."
That's what Jack will say to me over and
Yep.
over and over.
Listen,
I love it.
it's set up now. I'm either going to be the worst feeling sorry for myself loser or the worst braggadocious winner possible. There's no middle ground for me this fall. Okay, there's no middle ground for me this fall.
Jack going to the extremes. He's like
Your middle name is not middle ground. I'll just say that.
Yeah. He's like all the politics you talk about. He's either way over here.
Yeah,
or
he's
way
either
over here.
MSNBC or he's Fox. I mean, that's where he lives.
People want to see this version of me that's been bottled inside for
They want
20
the
years.
Fox version of Jack.
Since I got into media, since I became a public figure.
Jack. What was your first year? Maybe you're the reason that they suck.
2000 on the radio?
Yeah.
2006.
No, they were okay that year.
They won a division.
They
that
should have
year.
beat Texas that year. Jack, I'm still triggered by that 2006 Texas game.
Yeah.
Snow was falling.
Yeah.
Callahan had a kick-ass play call on fourth down.
Yeah, he did.
Listen, speaking of the supernatural or anything, I thought when the snow started falling in that game, I thought it was a sign from God that the curse was over.
Well, yeah,
I
so
thought
did-
that was a literal sign from God at that point.
So did 77,000 others because the place went absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Because
It
I
looked
think
like-
that came right after Nebraska scored, didn't it, during a TV timeout?
Yes.
The
is when
lucky
it
to
started
Swift. What a play
I thought
call.
we know God does rainbows when he's gonna, stop doing things that hurts everybody.
Right,
And
the
so
world.
I thought, maybe snow. You guys, if there's a rainbow Thursday night, I'm gonna lose my absolute marbles.
But if it was a double rainbow.
Oh,
double rainbow. It's so beautiful.
And if there's not, someone bring a box of Lucky Charms because there's a rainbow on there. The rainbow of flavor. Or no, not Skittles, rainbow of fruit flavors.
Bingo.
But you can get rainbows in the Lucky Charms,
Nice.
which are a good marshmallow, by the way.
Nice.
All right, we'll let you get back to it. You're on the board for 10-2. I look forward to this.
I do too.
Break the Curse event Thursday as part of Go Big Red Out Around the World in 80 Days Week, brought to you by Union Bank and Trust Your Money as People. We are live at Haymarket Park this Thursday on 1620 The Zone. Now, earlier, Jack was talking about stones and put your finger in things and stuff getting excited. Guys, if you've had a hard time getting excited the natural way and have had to use pills, I have a solution for you that will not require surgery. It's the Advanced Wave Technology at Brookside Medical Clinic. Advanced Wave Technology restores blood vessels, regrows them, gets blood flowing back to where things should be flowing, and can restore normal erectile function. So you don't have to worry about pills, side effects, timing every intimate moment to the taking of a pill, and you get your happiness back. And call today, 402-671-7777. They're not going to make you stick your finger in any stones, but they will give you a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound. Free. So call them today. Take advantage of this non-surgical way to get your old self back. The Advanced Wave Technology at Brookside Medical Clinic, 402-671-7777.
Previously on the crossover.
When you have the tin of popcorn, it has the 4, the cheese, the white, the caramel.
you're bougie. You went
and then
4. Usually it's 3.
Or is it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
But there's always one that's
That you're-
about 75% gone before any of the others are touched. Which one is it?
Caramel.
Cheese. Oh, no.
All 3 are garbage.
Whoa!
Not a
Popcorn
not a popcorn guy.
snob.
Sharp and Benning in the morning. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Watch out for patchy dense fog during the morning drive Monday. Most fog should lift by around 9 a.m. Then sunny and warm conditions the rest of the day with a light southeast breeze. Highs around 87. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
At Dingman's Collision Center, you voted them first place in Best in Omaha for the past 17 years. So they want to say thank you for choosing the Dingman family and their incredible technicians to repair your vehicles. At Dingman's, they'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Life is all about choices. Veggies or meat, sleep in or hit the gym. Luckily, choosing Cox Internet over the competition is easy. With Cox, you get the same fast gig speeds everywhere. With the competition, you don't. That's easier than deciding to pack a swimsuit for the water park. Get Cox today, the no-brainer choice for fast and reliable internet. Download speed up to 1 gigabit per second, requires DOCSIS 3.1 modem with 2.5 gigabits per second Ethernet port. Not available in all areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed.
Hi, everybody. Gary Sharp. You know, if you've been in Nebraska for a while and you love going to sporting events and you're getting your hands on the best tickets, there's a good chance you bought them from Ticket Express. Well, I'm here to tell you that Ticket Express has a new name. It's Tickets for Less. So if you've loved the quality customer service and the community feel that Ticket Express has brought us over the past 3 decades, have no fear. Tickets for Less is going to be here with the same energy and the same selection. Ticketsforless.com. Always the best seats at the best prices to your favorite sporting events. And if you ever need anything, just give them a call. 402-398-1999 and tell them Gary sent you.
It's 42 degrees summer sale, and it is hot. Premium Kratom up to 30% off, CBD up to 50% off, and candles from $9.99. Looking for a new pipe? We have the largest selection of glass, silicone, wood, and metal as low as $7.99. Interested in the latest vaporizer from Dr. Dabber? We have them starting at $24.99 with the most knowledgeable and friendly staff and hot summer sale pricing. Why shop anywhere else? 42 degrees is the source, your source. 42 degrees. Buy your mom's house.
Shop Lanaha's Garden Center for the best selection of fall color and seasonal decor. Mums, pumpkins, unique gourds, and more. Think fall, think Lanaha Nurseries. 192nd and Center.
Hey friends, Kent Pavelka here, back with John Higgins and the Rooferees at the Weather Guard showroom. I imagine there are a lot of people out there with really bad roofs waiting for the magic moment. When's the magic moment?
Depends on what type of roof you have. It depends on how old your roof is. I have a customer right now talking about waiting for that hailstorm. Now it's leaking. There's a time where you can't wait for that hailstorm forever.
When it comes time to replace your roof, your gutters, and siding, there's only one call to make. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'm not going to lie. It turned me on a little.
On 1620 The Zone.
Don't forget, friends, you can watch or listen along anywhere in the world with the 1620 The Zone app or 1620thezone.com. Those of you who are watching just a little bit ago, we gotta.
You made a great graphic.
We have graphics that run during the commercials so that you can't see me pacing the studio or Nick picking his nose or whatever things we do when we're off the air. But Josh is going to be doing a fundraiser next week. It's part of, I don't know if you've heard about this, but Josh runs apparently.
What? Yep. Occasionally I'll
How
dabble.
long?
I'll dabble.
And
Today I did 9 miles.
Next Wednesday, you're going to be doing a fundraiser.
Yeah. So I've been raising money.
A run raiser.
I guess we could call it a run raiser
if you want.
I probably won't. Nick can
event.
do that if he wants to. But I've been raising money for St. Jude going back to 2018 for a couple of different races. This will be the third time that I've raised money for them. In a marathon, I'm trying to raise the most money I ever have, $5,000. I'm about $2,000-ish away, a little more than $2,000 away. Well, anyway, the friends over at Monolithic Brewing Company are helping out, and so a week from Wednesday, the 31st. From 4 until 10, and I'll be there right after the show, so I'll be there about 6:30 at the latest. Every full pour of a beer, $2 will go directly to St. Jude. Will go right to my fundraiser. And then we're also going to have...
generous.
It's incredible. I was hoping for $1, so $2 a pour. Stop by, do that. If you're not a huge fan of beer, that's also fine because we will also have a raffle going along or going on, I have been able to lock down a bunch of donations from a variety of breweries in town, Cross-Train, Lumen Beer Co., Lucky Bucket. I'll have gift cards to Tanner's, to Muchachos, to Tavern 80, Pizza West. The folks over at the Storm Chasers, they hooked me up with a few tickets that will be raffling away. An unnamed donor, a really great friend of the program, has offered up 2 courtside seats to a Creighton men's game this year, a weeknight Big East game. So not in the non-con, it'll be a weeknight conference game.
And by the way, they've changed the seating this year. They're going to be changing. There's going to be a courtside.
Your feet will be on the floor.
The comfy chairs.
Yes.
The tables will be sort of kind of gone.
Yeah. So we'll have
So
two.
this will be different.
2 tickets to that. I talked to Phil from Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis, and he has offered up a 4-pack free round of golf with cart. So we'll have 4 of those vouchers to give away. And so, yeah, we'll be selling raffle tickets all night long. So, yeah, I'll be there next Wednesday on the 31st. Would love to see any friends of the program that can stop by that night. And there will be, by the way, if you're unable to come for the Creighton raffle in particular, I think we're trying to figure out a way where you could join the raffle even if you're unable to make it. We're going to announce the winner of every non-Creighton ticket that night. And then we're going to announce the winner of the Creighton tickets, I think a week later is our plan.
So it's a pretty cool deal. So it's a week from Wednesday at Monolithic, which is 120th and 4th.
Yeah, indeed.
And, you all you have to do is pop by and have a beer, and you've donated $2 to the cause.
Bingo. Yeah, and seriously, I couldn't believe it. And then every dollar from the raffle, every single buck is going to go right to St. Jude. So it's a really cool organization. Obviously, John, dealing with what you and your family had to deal with a decade ago, childhood cancer of all forms sucks. Childhood cancer, especially, is horrific. What is so cool about St. Jude is the families don't have to pay a dime. You had to worry about your son. You had to worry about financial strain. That's what they want to at least take the second part off of these families' plate. So it's really, really cool. I'm happy to raise money for them again. So hope to see everybody out there next Wednesday, the 31st.
If you missed Friday's program from Miracle Hill, Brett McMurphy from the Action Network joined us and boldly predicted. It didn't really even sound like a prediction. He was almost guaranteeing. He almost Joe Willie Namath the thing. But he thinks the Big Ten will be at 20 teams before the new television contract starts. Or I'm sorry, before USC and UCLA start. The new TV contract starts next year. USC and UCLA start the following year. He believes, based on what he's hearing, that the Big Ten will be at 20 teams.
Yeah.
By the time SC and UCLA start.
That's 2024.
There's more information that might be leaning the way of his bold proclamation, and we'll have that for you when we continue. Also, still to come, Mitch Sherman joining us today as Steve Sipple is in transit to Ireland, and Mitch will be leaving shortly thereafter. But Mitch was kind enough to join us. We'll talk about what he saw yesterday at Nebraska Media Day with Scott Frost, the demeanor, some of his expectations for the upcoming season. So please don't go anywhere because we're coming right back. You can celebrate Septemberfest. This is a long-time Omaha tradition. It's going on September 2nd through the 5th at CHI Health Center Lot D. Games, rides, food, clowns, robot rangers.
What?
Skynet has gone active. Also, there's Omaha Fight Club boxing on Friday. There's music on Sunday, the Labor Day Parade on Monday. It's Septemberfest going on downtown CHI Center, Lot D. Get all the details at 1620thezone.com.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
It is Big Red Friday, August 26th at McDonald's. You'll score a limited edition Husker flag for just $5. You're looking for a good cause? The proceeds benefiting your local Ronald McDonald House. That's a good deal. Those families, they go through enough. We want to take the burden off of those families by supporting the Ronald McDonald House. Should a Husker fan like you need a flag? Absolutely. Stop on out. It's Big Red Friday, August 26th at your local McDonald's.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Bill Jones.
And Olivia.
Here for Jones Bros Cupcakes. Have you tried our new chimney cones yet, Olivia?
They are so yummy.
Chimney cones are stacked on a sugar-coated croissant cone with gelato. We have flavors like birthday cake, strawberries and cream, s'mores, salted caramel, and more.
I love the birthday cake chimney cone topped with a mini cupcake. So good.
Come see us at Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe in Exarban Village.
We appreciate your support.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
NRG Media is a locally focused company with a full suite of digital advertising products, and we're recruiting for a digital marketing salesperson. If you're looking to grow in a sales role that lets you create unique marketing campaigns for businesses by using products like OTT, targeted display, social media, and more, send your resume to salesomaha@nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, John and Josh with Nick today as game week has begun. Now, as I mentioned on Friday,
Football Week.
Brett McMurphy of the Action Network boldly stating that he believes the Big Ten will be at 20 teams by the time the 2024 season begins, which is the first year that USC and UCLA are scheduled to join the Big Ten Conference. And it had really nothing, very little to do with Notre Dame. Everyone is, no, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of folks feel that the next round of expansion, should the Big Ten expand, would be centered around Notre Dame because it's all about adding value.
Yes.
But as McMurphy pointed out, there is still the potential for some value to be added if they were to invade the Pac-12 again, and this time take 4 more teams, especially those West Coast teams, and open up yet another television window, the late night window, for games. Because if you add 4 more West Coast teams, that gives you 6 teams in the either Pacific or Mountain time zone, and those Pac-12 after dark kickoffs then become Big Ten after dark kickoffs. And that maybe opens up the door for a new television deal or an addendum to the current television deal that was signed last week that might bring ESPN back into the fold.
Yeah.
To air Big Ten games after 9 p.m. Central Time.
Or perhaps one of the streaming services joins into
like
the fray.
Amazon.
And look, maybe, Amazon, as we talked about last week, the report is out there. They actually bid more than CBS did for the afternoon time slot, but it seemed like the Big Ten maybe wasn't ready to go with a streaming component at that important of a time slot. It's a lot easier, though, I think, John, to kind of talk yourself into okay, we'll put the late West Coast game maybe on a streaming service this time around. Either way, the money would be there for more, revenue. Or more
and oh, by the way, it's not like Pac-12 fans aren't used to
exactly
games on networks that don't get a lot of clearance. At least
Pac-12
with
network.
Amazon, all you need is an internet connection and a membership to Amazon.
Yep.
And you can watch the games versus the Pac-12 network, which had issues just getting regular clearance on cable or satellite in a lot of areas in the Pac-12 footprint. Well, McMurphy today is reporting that Oregon has initiated preliminary conversations with the Big Ten. Now, according to McMurphy, the outgoing U of O president, the AD, and Kevin Warren are not involved in the discussions.
So what does that mean then?
Well, intermediaries.
Yeah. The behind
intermediaries.
The scenes folks? Yeah.
People who are high up the food chain, but high enough to have plausible deniability.
Sure.
And don't have to answer to constituents.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of backs up what he was saying last week to say, hey, these talks are ongoing.
Yeah, and again, tomorrow night, Kevin Warren, an interview with him will air on Real Sports, and he mentions that where he could foresee the Big Ten eventually expanding to 20 teams. So it's obvious. Look, it's beyond obvious at this point, John. This is, of course, on the table. I would venture to guess that they are going to do it. It's just kind of who the teams are going to be. McMurphy also wrote, last month, Action Network reported that the Big Ten would expand beyond 16 schools and was targeting Notre Dame along with Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and Cal from the Pac-12. And so, the question in all this is still like, are they waiting for Notre Dame? Is that kind of the question in all this? Like, if Notre Dame is a yes, then what do you do otherwise? If Notre Dame is a no, then what do you do otherwise?
Well, but I don't think Notre Dame's in the fold for the moment.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't announced anything, but it seems to be a foregone conclusion that NBC is going to pony up more money for the Irish. And so if they sign a TV deal there,
especially given how long that would probably be, or
right?
Maybe it's not, but like that's deals up in 25, right? So
and Notre Dame would still have to get out of its deal with the ACC, and the current deal is that if they join any conference, the ACC has to be the one.
Correct.
So, yeah, I think Notre Dame's off the table in this conversation, and the pathway to 20 teams now involves West Coast teams, particularly the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Stanfords, and, someone else that would open up that fourth late night television window that would seem to be concurrent with the value that the Big Ten talks about when it talks about its new TV deal. We're only going to add things that add value.
Yeah. I continue to think back to the interview that we did with Brett the other day. We've had him on the show many times over the years. I don't know if I've ever heard him as bullish about something as he was about that. Later in because he said initially at the front of the interview, he mentioned the 20-team thing. And he said he thinks that will happen essentially as USC and UCLA join the league. Again, that's in 2024. It's 2 years from now. And so I wanted to follow up just to make sure I was understanding him. And he almost like guffawed when I asked him about it.
Yeah.
And so, the insiders, the knowers of things, if you're covering a sport, I think these people always know more than they're willing to report just because they don't want to go with anything unless they have it really knocked down. So the fact that he's willing to say that, again, he's very careful with talking about a timeline where he's like, look, I'm not going to say it's going to happen in a day or in a week or in a month, but he definitely thinks it's going to happen within the next 2 years. And that he's reporting this today after that conversation. It makes me wonder how far along, how far down that road is the train right now.
Yeah, and of course, then the reaction after that will be to watch what the SEC does.
Yeah,
and and then there's been talk that, and in Florida State's, where I got the story here. Yeah, Florida State's president Richard McCullough said over the weekend at a Chamber of Commerce event in Tallahassee that FSU will be, quote, very aggressive in its pursuit to remain competitive, a.k.a. conference realignment. He said It's something I'm spending a lot of time on, and we're getting a lot of help. We're trying to do anything we can to think about how we remain competitive. We're going to be very aggressive.
Joey says, maybe I missed the clarification, but since Big Ten already has a TV contract for 7 years, why would they want to add more teams at this point? The money doesn't increase and would split between more teams. Something else to consider.
Well, there are escalators
Yeah.
in the current deal, which if they do add, would add more money to the contract. But this would be an addendum. I mean, in theory, how this would work is you add those 4 teams, presumably West Coast teams. You then basically sign a new television deal or an addendum to the current one that says ESPN or Amazon or whoever it is, you can buy, and it just like NBC's got the exclusive primetime, and CBS has the exclusive 2:30, and Fox has the exclusive big noon kickoff. This would be an exclusive late night window.
Yeah.
So imagine, it wouldn't be worth as much as, the reported $350 million that CBS or NBC are paying. But imagine if you could get an Amazon or an ESPN to pony up $200 additional million for late night games. That's how you add value. Then the overall, again, you're not losing any money.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the other networks, because of the escalators, would start paying more. Because now they're getting into more markets. They'd be getting into Oregon. They'd be getting into, San Francisco. They'd be getting into, Seattle.
And I don't think that we can underestimate the travel partner component out of all this too. And I know that we continue to look at this through the football lens, and rightfully so, given that that's why the money is what it is. But I also think that it's important for the Olympic sports, for the non-revenue sports. Like that stuff really, really, really matters.
So keep an eye on this because it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm sad about it. I mean, I don't want the Pac-12 to go away. I like my college football the way it is, but I am swimming upstream, kind of like I'm swimming upstream when it comes to telling people, hey, don't get overexcited about what happens in the first game.
Don't overreact.
But you know what I'm going to tell folks, Josh?
What?
You should get excited right now because if you are really bullish on Nebraska this weekend, you can basically get an extra point. Because the spread right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook is 12.5. There are some books that have it at 13.5.
13.5?
Isn't that ridiculous? That's why you need to join us as members of the FanDuel Sportsbook family. Because right now, you can get $150 in free bets. All you have to do is place your first $5 bet with FanDuel, and win or lose, FanDuel will say, here's an extra $150 in bets just for coming over to the FanDuel Sportsbook family. And all you have to do is remember FanDuel Sportsbook and our promo code 1620.
John, I got a message over the weekend from a friend of the program named Nick, not Grim. He says, this may be a dumb gambling question, but can I parlay the money line and the spread, i.e. Nebraska to win, but Northwestern to cover? Nick, the answer is you can indeed. The same game parlay, I am on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now, and I clicked on Nebraska minus 530 on the money line. I clicked on Northwestern plus 12.5. A healthy middle there, plus 161. That bet and more are available right now. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Use our promo code 1620. Place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets guaranteed to kick off the college football season. That is the FanDuel Sportsbook promo code 1620. 21 plus, the president in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
1620, The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, we're getting reports of a stall on the exit ramp from northbound 204th to Dodge Street. Looks like road work still has the right lane closed for both directions on Highway 275, causing slow going between Center and 165th. And then if you're south on the JFK, traffic down to just one lane at F Street that's causing stop-and-go traffic all the way back from eastbound I-80. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Announcing the Nebraska Lottery's Your Park Second Chance promotion. Enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska State Park scratch ticket for a chance to win a 2-night stay in a beautiful cabin at one of our state parks. Top prize odds, 1 in 88,000.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
1180 The Zone is your home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball. The Storm Chasers are in action at Werner Park and beyond with an exciting team filled with future Major League stars. Join Jake Eisenberg for every pitch, every hit, and every out. Tune in and stir up the Storm all season long on 1180 The Zone.
Tune in to 1180 The Zone all season for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1180 The Zone.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has been making your game day experience one to remember for 18 years with their award-winning char-buffed wings and $7.99 Monday through Friday lunch specials. But now your game day just got bigger and better with Oscar's newly upgraded audio-video system. Cheer on your favorite teams this season in front of a 22-foot LED video wall, showing up to 8 games at once, and of course, 40 TVs and massive dual projectors. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and for takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Welcome back to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Typically in this spot, we get Steve Sipple, the snowflake, but we understand that there were some snags in his travel. He left behind his Applebee's frequent eaters card, and he doesn't travel anywhere, especially internationally, without it. So no Sip this week, but I think we have a far superior guest.
Roasted.
And a hell of a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, who is about to depart from these United States. Mitch, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Glad to be able to fill this role for you. I hope I can live up to the expectations.
Oh, there's no expectations. I mean, come on. You've heard this program.
And you've heard Sipple.
You've heard Sipple. Exactly.
I got to hear him yesterday in person, so that filled my need, but I know everybody else.
Yeah. I'm curious, as I was watching the press proceedings, and obviously we had another, little flap based on something Frost had said in the media. How do you think Frost handled the situation yesterday, given that, nationally at least, there were a lot of folks who took exception to the 15 to 20 vomits per practice by his offensive line?
I thought it went well. I thought it was good that he did it unprompted and didn't have to be asked an awkward question and where everybody had to wonder, what was going to be the tone of his response. He just took care of it like I think a CEO would do. That was kind of the mood in the room. It was game week, intellectual Scott Frost yesterday at the beginning of the press conference. He had a prepared opening statement, which harkens back to Big Ten Media Days, where he did not do that. But this was a different look, a different vibe. He thanked the the football ops crew, the video staff, the training and equipment staff for their hard work in planning this overseas affair. He went into some details about the situation with his comment on Thursday about the offensive line and explained what he was trying to say and said that he had all the confidence in the medical staff. So it was not normal for the way that he opened the press conference. And that was planned because he went up there and Keith Mann even made the announcement to the gathered media that he was going to be starting with an opening statement. So they obviously discussed this, which is a good step in the right direction, I think, also for Nebraska in their in the way that they present information to the public.
Mitch, how much does like the PR side of things matter, do you think, to Trev Alberts as he, as the season embarks and he has to make probably a pretty important decision at the end of it?
A lot. That's just Trev. I mean, I don't think that he probably had great feelings on Thursday night or Friday about the way that comment was received from the radio. And I don't know anything about specifically what Trev's reaction was. It's just reading into the situation and how Nebraska addressed it on Sunday and then knowing Trev. He's very image conscious and it matters to him what people think and how they perceive Nebraska. And I think that's the hires that you're going to see Trev make and that you've already seen him make fall right in line. And I don't mean coaching hires. I'm talking about staff around him. People like Doug Ewald, who he has in his office, people like Marquita Armstead on his senior staff, and, others as the months go on where he fills in some of these important positions around him. They're all professionals, and they're people who value PR and the image that Nebraska puts forward as an athletic department and a football program. So, yeah, I think it mattered quite a bit to him, not just what Scott said on Sunday as a reaction to that little episode, but also the way that it came across and the way that it was presented. So that's where I get back to the fact that it didn't come from a question. It was an opening statement that he made right out of the gate to kind of diffuse the situation.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. As I pointed out on Friday, my larger concern in this had nothing to do with the number of vomits or, Frost maybe saying something that could get misconstrued in the press. But it was asked as part of an overall generic question about the offensive line. And at every turn, when he's been given the opportunity, Frost has really gone out of his way to pump up Donovan Raiola and the offensive line. And I pointed out on Friday, I said, it's almost now as if he's trying to convince himself, not just convince all of us, but convince himself that he made the right hire. When you hear Frost, talk about how hard this line works and just really give the hard sell, what do you think?
It makes me more concerned about what we're going to see on Saturday. I think that's the place that we're at with the Nebraska offensive line. There wasn't really going to be a way through this offseason, especially with Nuri being out for the year. There wasn't a way we were going to make it through this offseason with the way that it started as Cam Jurgens left and not be concerned right now about the offensive line. So he was fighting an uphill battle, and so has been Donovan Raiola at all of his opportunities to address the progress that these guys have made. There wasn't really going to be a great sense of positivity going into the season about the offensive line, no matter what was said. So I do think it's been laid on a little bit thick. We've got a new feature on The Athletic that you'll find tomorrow, and this is all across the vertical with the various teams that we cover, called Myth or Fact, and make a statement that's maybe a popular part of the narrative around each team as they get ready for the season. And week 0 is a check-in point. I think we'll do it again in week 3 or 4. And one of the statements that I address in this piece that'll be out early this week is not just the offensive line, but the line play on both sides in the trenches. Is it the most pressing concern for Nebraska to head into the season? And I will sort it out and let you know if I think that statement is a myth or a fact.
Mitch, speaking of the offensive line, you were on with one of our friends, all of our friends, Dr. Rob Zadishka, in the podcast within the last couple of weeks. You talked about Frost's involvement in coaching on the offensive line. I wonder if you could expand on that a little bit and what it would mean for Raiola and just for that unit as a whole if he is continues, I guess, to be involved that much in their coaching.
Yeah, I think he's been involved a lot, and that comes from observations that we've seen where he's been in the limited opportunities we've had to see practice, just 2 practices at the beginning, and he's been around the offensive line as much as any group. Usually it's the quarterbacks, but seen Scott around the offensive line, and he talks about the offensive line a lot, and some of that might be for the reasons that we just got done discussing, that he's trying to not just convince the public and the media, but himself that this is a group that is handling things well. I think he senses a need to be around them, in part because Raiola is new to this job, and it's his first time as a full-time assistant coach, but also just he understands, as does everybody, the importance of that group playing well this season. So, what I said on the pod is that there's even been some, jokes among the media as we've watched that, that Frost is the assistant offensive line coach, or Raiola is the assistant offensive line coach, and Frost is coaching them. And there's been more talk. There's been more talk from a standpoint of who's helping with each one of these position groups about Aaron Coling, the graduate assistant who is there with Raiola. There's been more talk about him, and they go back. I believe they were together at Notre Dame. So this is somebody that was handpicked by Donovan to come in and assist with the offensive line. Clearly, like in the way that Nebraska devoted attention to the offensive line back in Zadishka's day, with 2 full-time assistants who spent the majority, if not all, of their time with that position group. Nebraska is devoting attention now with the head coach, with the offensive line coach, and with a GA who, I think fills a role that's more important than what you get from most GAs. He's not coaching them in any way like Raiola or Frost would do, but he's definitely there as a sounding board for that core of coaches who work with the guys up front on the offensive side.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. Nebraska, according to Scott Frost, there was a quote he had yesterday. He said, "They've earned the right to be confident." And we've heard Frost be confident many times before. In fact, there was a viral video going around put out by a Hawkeye fan yesterday, which showed all the examples of Frost being confident and then backed up by, not backed up by results. But if this year is going to be different in that Nebraska has earned the right to be confident, what's it going to look like, especially with the mental side of the game? Because to me, that's where Nebraska has failed more than anywhere else.
Yeah, and he said they, not we. I quoted him saying we, and ended up in hot water with a lot of people on Twitter. So now that I'm here with you guys, it was they talking about the players and the coaches after the way that they came out of camp. It's a small thing, but
sure.
You don't want to misquote Scott Frost. I don't want to misquote Scott Frost. Didn't intend to, but I'm probably gonna stop with the live quotes from press conferences and after games and on Mondays. Just right, because you want to get things entirely right, and sometimes a word can get mishandled in the heat of the moment during a press conference. So won't do that. But there's been a lot of discussion about confidence. You heard it from Casey Thompson yesterday about his confidence in the game plan and in the coaches and the guys around him. Heard it from Mark Whipple last week in his final comments in Lincoln about why this group should be confident because of the work that they've put in preseason camp. And that's what Frost was getting at in that answer to a question yesterday in the press conference. He talked about what they've done in preseason camp this year and how that has given them the right to be confident. And, it doesn't mean that he thinks they're ready to go off and win 10 games, but they should feel good about themselves. is what he was saying, to paraphrase, as a result of everything that they've done. And there's a tendency, I think, for this group, especially the returning players, because of some of the things that they've experienced in their years at Nebraska, to have doubts. You go into this game and it's hard to escape the feelings that are going to be there as a Nebraska football player. I went back and listened to some of what Garrett Nelson had to say last month, and his comments about feeling like he got kicked in the balls every time they went out there on a Saturday. I mean, hard to be more upfront than it is with that kind of a statement. And Garrett went into some of it yesterday, now that he's been named a captain on this team, with the mentality that this group has to have in order to be confident. The thing is, confidence isn't something you can teach. It's got to happen naturally, and it's got to happen by winning and having success in the moments where Nebraska's failed in the past. So they all will continue to say the right thing. They want to convince themselves, kind of going back to what you talked about with the line, that they've earned this right. But really, it's got to happen on Saturday to start with, and then moving into September.
Mitch, it's funny. I wasn't going to ask you about the whole tweet thing yesterday, but it was another reminder to me that, like, everyone, players, coaches, fans, media, it's everyone's on so much edge right now. I wonder if you think that the edge can be taken off at any point for this program over the next month, or if this is something that, regardless of winning and losing in August and September, that just kind of feeling of being on the razor's edge is going to hang over everything until, November, if not the end of the season entirely.
Yeah, I think if they go 4-0, I mean, it's nothing short of that. I mean, 3-0 would be nice. I think people would feel good going into the OU game, but it's got to be 4. You win that game, and I think you feel like you're playing with a little bit of house money then going into the bye week and having Indiana next up. That's a real. I think it would be a different feeling altogether around the football program if Nebraska is 4-0 a month from now. And we, what is it, August 22nd? So yeah, it will be in the bye week in a month. And 3-1, that's fine. I think they'll feel okay. 2-2, you're going to be more on edge than what we're seeing right now. Which it's notably tense. In Huskerville these days.
We're going to go through an exercise this week, Mitch, where I've got a list of 10 questions, and I'm asking a lot of our guests this week, not to answer them all necessarily, but just a scattershot few. And they're basically like fill in the blank questions, kind of predicting what you think's going to happen this season. I'm curious who you think Nebraska's leading receiver will be, and how many catches will that person have, or in the roundabout ballpark of how many catches you think that person will have.
Okay. I'm going to say that it's actually Ramir Johnson. And that's probably an overreaction to his comments last week about being a wide back. It would be easy to go with Trey Palmer or Alante Brown or Omar Manning, Oliver Martin, Marcus Washington, somebody from that group. But I think that they're going to look to Ramir quite a bit. And I think Casey's going to spread it around. So you're not going to have somebody up in that 70 catch range. I think that's a little much. Ramir maybe catches 4 to 5 balls a game. 5 would put him at 60. I don't think it'll be that high. I'll say 56 catches for Ramir Johnson.
Interesting.
And he's the leader.
Interesting. See, this was the one I had the hardest time with. And I'll have our answers later this week.
Yeah.
But this was the one I had the hardest time with because I wasn't really 100% sure. Special teams this year is going to be the same, a little better, worse, or noticeably better than last year.
It can't be worse. So
don't say that. Josh did that a few years ago and he got burned.
I don't know how it could be. I mean, it lost them 2 games just straight up.
Well, they could lose 3 games.
Yeah, right,
they could have 2 bad punts in the same game.
No.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be noticeably better.
Okay.
Was that one of the choices?
Yes. Yes.
That's yeah. I do. And that could be like ranking in the 60s in the country and the special teams index. I think they've got some pros at kicker and punter, and most importantly at special teams coordinator.
Best position group today and best position group by the end of the season. And it can be the same answer if you think.
Yeah, I'll agree with the head coach and say it's the edge rushers. I'm buying the hype on Caleb Tanner, and we got a lot of that yesterday from teammates. And I like O'Shawn Mathis and what he has. I like what I've seen from him so far. And, Nelson is a given with the attitude that he's going to give. He's gone up a notch on the intensity meter, if that's possible. So, and then really they have depth there because Jamari Butler and Blaze Gunnerson are good players. And probably aren't going to see a ton of reps, but if they're needed, they're deep. Nebraska's deep at that spot. So that's the best spot on the team. I would say by the end of the season, it could be the running backs. If it's going to change sides of the ball, that's where I would go. Because this is a changed room also in that Anthony Grant, as the presumptive starter, is new to the program. Gabe Ervin is rebuilt as a different guy. I think he's going to look like a different player than what we saw the first month of the season in his true freshman year. He looks different. I think he runs different. Jaquez Yant is like the guy from late in the season last year when he got his stuff together. Actually, he's probably better than that. And then, we talked about Ramir as a run pass threat, a wide back, and AJ Allen, the true freshman, I think is going to make an impact in some way. Now, I don't think that they're going to come out Saturday and play 5 backs. That's like saying you're going to play 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Which they've said. It's just, that's not realistic. Nebraska played 17 players on offense last year in the opener against Illinois. And you can go back and we heard the same kind of comments coming into camp. It was about last year at this time, it was about Savion Morrison and Gabe Ervin and Marquise Stepp. They were the 3 backs that were all going to get a lot of reps. And, you were hearing similar things about guys like Xavier Betts at receiver, and Betts did play in the opener, but Morrison didn't. And people were like, what's going on? Why didn't he play? And it's like, well, we just didn't find reps. And then there's a limited amount of snaps on the offensive side. And if you don't snap it 80, 85 times, you're just not going to play a ton of guys. You're not going to use a full 74-man roster. I wouldn't think in a game like this. Now, if it's 56-7 again, yeah, sure. I don't think that's going to be this kind of a game. So it'll be interesting to see how those running backs are used. And the reason that I would say that there's an opportunity for that to be the best position group on the team by the end of the season is because I think they have to be deep there, and they are. They're going to have to use some guys. They're going to have some injuries. There's going to be some shuffling at some point. And I think every time that they have to make a change, unless it gets down to like the 6th guy, there's going to be a good option.
And this is the money question. Question number 10. Scott Frost will blank an office inside Memorial Stadium next January. Okay, I see your smirk over there, Peterson. You just keep in mind out of your gutter.
Vomit 15 to 20 times and. Sorry, Mitch. Sorry.
So I'm supposed to be saying what he's going to. He's going to move his office because Nebraska's football headquarters are going to be outside of Memorial Stadium next July. Well, that's not what you're looking for.
Well, that's January. Yeah, July. Okay. That would be funny.
Yeah.
That's actually a funny
I'm moving out, but because we're going to the other office. They should do that. That'd be a pretty fun
thing. He's going to be packing up boxes in the off season next year because they have to move down the hall and across the bridge into the new facility. So
but he will be the one moving into his new office.
Look, I got to answer that question after this weekend. At the shortest amount of time that I can give you before I have a real answer to that question is after I've seen them play against Northwest.
Interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, who is headed over to Ireland. Check out all of his great work on The Athletic, and also check out that Factor. Did you say fact or fiction, or did I get that right?
Myth or fact?
Myth or fact? Myth or fact?
Not just on Nebraska, but all of the teams.
Yes, every team they cover, and it's always great stuff in The Athletic. All right, Mitch, have a very safe journey. Have a very fun time, and we'll look forward to seeing how it goes, because I kind of agree with you. This first game could be one heck of a barometer.
Yeah, it will. And I'll be sure to post a picture of a pub for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mitch.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic.
Yeah, I have a question that I was going to ask him, and he essentially answered it at the very end, so I didn't have to. Is this game going to make or break the season? I've been
made it sound like it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, because what did we say this time last year? If they lose this game, they could go 3-9. Now, I predict them.
I don't think no one said 3-9.
I did. I didn't predict it to happen, but I said if they lose, Robbie and I said that at one point in the summer. If they lose, they can go 3-9. It's on the table. I don't think that's on the table, by the way, this year. I don't think they're going to go 3-9. But could they? Here's the question: can they lose this game on Saturday afternoon and respond and still get to a bowl? What do we always talk about, John? It's a math problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you start 0-1, then you got to go 6-5. If you start 1-0, all you got to do is go 5-6.
Well, and someone pointed out the scenario in Dumb Debates, which is the better start? 3-1 with a loss in the first game, or 3-1 with a loss to Oklahoma? And I said 3-1 with a loss to Northwestern, because that shows
actual growth.
That shows that, yes, you can overcome, because it will be very, very toxic around here if Nebraska comes back from Ireland with an L.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something they have to get over. And then, you also get the pelt of beating Oklahoma. So I think if it's going to be 3-1, honestly, I know it would hurt their division chances, but I'm not thinking division championship this year. I think it would show more growth if they lost on Saturday and then went on to go 3-0 after that.
Yeah, I would agree, because the former, starting 3-0, never been done. Winning 3 games in a row, never been done under this coaching staff. But it'd be winning games your favorite. And again, I know it's a lot of things that they really don't do, but in the end, it'd be winning 3 games you're supposed to. All double-digit favorites, by the way. And 2 of them are going to be, 3 to 4 touchdown margins. And then you lose to Oklahoma. So you still lose to a team that, is probably better than you, but it's a home game. I don't really know if we learn a whole lot. Look, we will, especially if they come back and win. But I think it, in a way, it'd be way more. Well, not in a way. It would be more impressive. You're right. They lose Saturday, and then they go 3-0 in their next 3 games, going into the bye week with a win over Oklahoma. Oh my gosh, it'd be absolutely huge for him. Absolutely huge.
Okay, coming up, we still have Michigan to preview in 25 teams. We've reached our final week of 25 teams in 25 days. That means Michigan's coming in at number 5, and more, including a look at where the Chiefs are in terms of their running game and some frosty highlights. Still coming on 1620 The Zone.
Irrational confidence.
I want to go back to the original situation. The plane is fine. Everything about the plane is fine, except for the pilot is no longer able to fly the plane. And I am the only person left in a working, usable plane that has no technical issues.
But you can land that plane?
I can land that plane.
Irrational confidence. The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly clear and quiet as we head into your Monday night, expecting temperatures to fall into the mid-60s. After a mild start Tuesday, expect a couple of clouds by Tuesday morning, giving way to afternoon sunshine. Toasty with a high tomorrow of 91. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash on eastbound Dodge at 129th is causing delays through there. Otherwise, it looks like the right lane still closed for both directions on Highway 275 between Center and 165th, causing a 3 to 5 minute delay through there. And then if you're south on the JFK, traffic down to just 1 lane at F Street, and it's got traffic stop and go all the way back from eastbound I-80, so avoid the southbound JFK if you can. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Thanks, Omaha. Thanks for voting Fernando's #1 for Omaha's Choice Awards for Best Mexican Restaurant and Best Margarita. Grab a friend or the whole family and get your fix. 2 locations and open 7 days a week. Fernando's, family-owned and community served.
1620 The Zone, live and local, broadcasting 6A to 6P in the Host Coffee Zone studio. Host Coffee, building healthy and happy break room refreshment services to Omaha and Lincoln metro area businesses. Discover a better break room solution for your office at sales@hostcoffee.net.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Question 5. Lucas and Carla have 3 homework assignments each. Lucas does his online at home, but Carla has no internet at home. If Carla has to travel 5 miles to find Wi-Fi at a noisy diner or a grocery store parking lot, how can she ever be expected to do well in school?
This is not a problem kids should have to solve. Cox Connect to Compete, providing affordable internet to lower-income students. Available to new residential Cox Internet customers who meet eligibility criteria. Other restrictions apply.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
When it comes to cement fiber siding, you want durability, hail and chip resistance, and beauty. You want James Hardy cement fiber siding. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor. Call Carp's today or visit carpsomaha.com.
Let's face it, food shortages are a real threat now. Supply chain breakdowns, inflation, fuel prices, global conflicts, fertilizer cutbacks, farmers being encouraged not to plant. The stage is set for the peanut butter to hit the fan. But for some reason, Americans are still in denial about food shortages. Listen, we don't take risks with other things in our lives, so why take risks with your food security? Those who know what's coming are using today to prepare. Millions of Americans have purchased ready-hour emergency food from My Patriot Supply, the brand people look for when they're ready for real preparedness. MyPatriotSupply.com is America's largest preparedness company. Get stocked up on emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage to get you through tough times ahead. Your other choice is to stand in government food lines, hoping for a handout. As we both know, that's not an option. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
1180 The Zone is your home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball. The Storm Chasers are in action at Werner Park and beyond with an exciting team filled with future Major League stars. Join Jake Eisenberg for every pitch, every hit, and every out. Tune in and stir up the storm all season long on 1180 The Zone.
Tune in to 1180 The Zone all season for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1180 The Zone.
Dingman's Mechanical Repair. We would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
You root Big Red football, you must root Big Red basketball.
On 1620 The Zone.
Well, still to come, and by the way, you can still vote in our Phase 4 poll. Where do you think Nebraska's record will be in the regular season?
Also, so green or teal?
So far, the positive boys, almost 80% are saying bowl game, at least a bowl game this year. But while the humans are getting more positive, Skynet is about to go live. You know, it was funny because it was the computer polls who have been more bullish on Nebraska, at least to start this offseason.
Yes.
But now it seems like the roles are reversing. And we'll explain because we've got Bill Connolly's latest SP Plus estimations. We'll share in a little bit, which is probably going to trigger Joe in Boulder.
What's wrong with Joe?
Joe says in an email titled, "I'm done listening to Unsportsmanlike Conduct Live."
Live.
John and Josh are so anti-Frost, and they drive every conversation through that lens. I love your guests, and will continue to listen to the podcast. But to listen to you two drive every decision made in the most negative direction possible has ended my support of your program. Come
on, Joe. You know what you're doing.
And I am not an all-in on Frost fan, but I think it's at least 50-50. His growth and changes might pay big results or may implode in the program. At least I'm realist. You haven't even heard my prediction yet, Joe.
That's true.
So I'm done listening live. If Frost pulls it out, you two will never apologize for being wrong. Well, Joe, I have already apologized for being wrong on Scott Frost once.
Yeah.
When I thought he was the slam dunk hire.
Which I did too.
Yes.
I did too. I thought that they would win the league within 5 years, definitely win the division within 2 or 3.
Well, they could still win the league within 5 years.
It is
This
a possibility. It is a possibility.
Let's see. You have done a huge disservice to the Husker fans.
What?
Of course, the Frost haters love your program. Keep preaching to them. I don't preach to anybody. Well, not intentionally anyway. I mean, I give you my opinion. You can believe me or not believe me, but I'm not trying to. The only agenda I drive is coming here and doing a program.
Jeez.
4 days. I'm in Joe's language now. For 4 hours every day. If you want to believe me, great. If not, great. I don't get any of that vibe from either of the other shows on 1620. And it's nice you have competition from the Lincoln station.
Shots fired at our Omaha competition.
I know this one note won't make a difference, but I felt I needed to share the perspective of the non-haters. Joe, feel free to criticize my grammar and use of fonts and punctuation. You seem to get joy out of that.
Okay, did you write this email for the last sentence? The whole email, I thought, oh, it's Joe and Boulder. And then the last sentence, because I'm critical of you get the red squigglies under your emails a lot. This guy's a 2 spaces after the period kind of guy. Is this you?
No.
Is this you?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to make fun of why would I make fun of the font? It's a very normal font. Find a new slant. One of my least favorite things that we
Thank
hear.
you, Joe and Boulder,
Thank you for listening
in the podcast.
Radio replays is what we call them.
replay.
One of my least favorite things is this idea. Like, I don't get that vibe from the other shows. You know why you don't get that vibe? Because they say what they think. We say what we think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. We are all our own people.
Yeah.
I say my opinion. John says his opinion. I disagree. I agree at times.
We all have our own vibes.
We all have our own vibes.
Yeah, we all of us, we all meet together every week and we say, all right, Damon, you're going to be this, and Gary, you're going to be this, and John, you're going to be this.
Yeah, Joe, I thought they made the wrong decision to bring Frost back. No use in crying over spilled milk. I don't think that they're going to turn it around this year. It's not an agenda. It's just my honest opinion. I'm blown away that people don't want me to be honest on this. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to tell you what you want to hear.
No, people.
I'm just not going to.
Don't you know what time of world we're living in? People literally pick their news sources based on if they tell them things they want to hear or not. I mean, it's not terribly unusual.
Yeah, no, I know. It's been this way forever. I just don't understand. I'm sorry that you disagree, man. I'm sorry. If they turn it around, of course I'll own up to it.
Joe, once upon a time, there was a time, and granted, there weren't nearly as many sports shows, but there was a time when you couldn't find a Husker-based or Nebraska-based radio program that wasn't fawning and glowing all over everything Nebraska did. That time was the 1990s.
Yeah, because they were good. They were winning in those days.
Yeah.
Brian says, crazy to think that this is about hating Frost and not hating losing and being a national embarrassment. I went on with an Oregon radio show this morning. Save the lib jokes. And their reaction to, I mean, I guess just what Husker fans think about it. Because I told them, like, yeah, it's still 50% support, well above 50% support. I mean, they're basically calling him a laughingstock as a head coach. And there was a couple listeners who tuned in to that interview, and they were like, it's nice getting a different perspective and maybe not hearing people kind of trip all over themselves trying to defend 15 and 29.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's not me being critical of, of anybody who disagrees with me.
I mean, Joe, this is the worst record by any coach since Bill Jennings.
Yeah.
Through 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Worst record through 4 seasons. So I can't imagine why. And listen, I have said about this season, man, there are so many questions kind of going back to something you put in your email. Where is it at here? Oh, the growth and changes. There's definitely been changes, Joe, but we don't know yet if there's been growth.
Yeah, they got to watch the game still.
We don't know if there has been growth. And when I'm talking about growth, I'm talking about within Scott Frost himself. Because to me, that's where the difference is going to be made. Because I believe this team's biggest issues have been between the ears. And I think that comes from leadership. And that there is just, that the culture is not where it is supposed to be. It's just not. I don't know how anyone can look at the last 4 years and say,
I know.
And we can't just say, well, you change out an offensive coordinator and 3 offensive other assistants, and that's going to change the culture. Hey, no. It still all boils back to the head coach. Man, the head coach is so important. And so I don't know if there has been growth. My fear is that there hasn't, but I haven't ruled out the possibility that there could be. Certainly some changes were made. I also think those changes were spurred on by the athletic director. And it wasn't so much something that Scott Frost wanted to do, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I was wrong about Frost the first time.
Exactly.
And I'll be the first one to say it. And in fact, I have said it. I have said it here on this show. I said, if Nebraska gets to 9 wins this year, I will more than happy hit the big, double hash mark pause button on any talk about coaching changes. Now, that doesn't mean that I think this is still the right long-term play, but I won't be entertaining those conversations because at least that will show me growth.
Yeah.
That will show me growth.
It's just weird, man. It's like people want him to be good so they can tell us we're wrong instead of like the program to be good just to be good.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, yes, I would like this to work because then maybe I will be wrong about being wrong the first time.
Then you'll apologize for apologizing. I shouldn't have owned up to it. I should have stuck to my guns.
Well, it's kind of hard to stick to your guns when
they're 15 and 29.
When you've seen 4 years of this nonstop.
Come on.
And I'm just not a big excuses guy.
Kyle says, yeah, I can't believe how negative you guys are. Have been on a 15-29 coach. Just give him a chance. Jeez. Are we watching the same games? Sometimes I don't think we are.
But Josh, they didn't get blown out.
They didn't get blown out, but they did in 2020.
They didn't get blown out last year.
Chance. I just want everyone to have fun. Chance, me too, man. Me too. You know who's going to have fun?
Who?
Mitch Holtis.
The voice of the Chiefs next on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Football is all the way back, and we're kicking off week 1 with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. All you have to do is sign up with promo code HAPPER to get in on the action. Then you can turn game day into payday all season long. And maybe you like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. Maybe you like them just to make the playoffs. Maybe you don't like them to make the playoffs at all. You can bet on it all at FanDuel Sportsbook. So you can play your way and bet on more than just the final score. Wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches and anything in between. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the famous same game parlay. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code HAPPER. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Rock and country music's hardest hitters join forces. Five-Finger Death Punch. Brantley Gilbert. With special guest Corey Mars. November 30th, CHI Health Center, Omaha. On sale now at livenation.com. Five-Finger Death Punch's new album, Afterlife, out now. Five-Finger Death Punch and Brantley Gilbert, live.
As the end of summer draws near, the vacation season is just starting for customers at Greenberg's Jewelers. For a very limited time, when you make a purchase of $3,000 or more at Greenberg's, you'll get a $500 gift card to use for airfare to one of over 100 destinations in the U.S. and Mexico. If you were thinking about an engagement ring in the next few months, it's time to buy the ring now. Considering a gorgeous diamond pendant or anniversary ring? Get it now from Greenberg's and get free airfare. Imagine the look on her face when the engagement is topped off with a honeymoon or vacation to Cancun, Las Vegas, New York City, Los Angeles, or one of many other destinations. Greenberg's has the absolute latest styles in jewelry, stackable rings, stunning solitaires, love story rings, dazzling pendants, and of course, hearts on fire diamonds are all at Greenberg's. And get a $500 airfare gift card from Greenberg's Jewelers with any purchase of $3,000 or more. But hurry, a deal like this won't last. Greenberg's Jewelers, West Roads Mall, a cut above the rest. Some restrictions apply.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
And now, a Kansas City Chiefs training camp update brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every eye. And now, fresh off the salad bar, from one of Hy-Vee's over 240 locations, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holtis.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
Being one of those guys who's willing to play whatever position, to make the team. Most important, just being the guy, just listening to details and understanding the concepts and being able to execute it in a fast pace.
Very real chance you'd be the number one kick returner. What about having that opportunity and what you need to do to thrive in that role?
I returned kicks in college, and as a freshman, I'm a rookie again. People mistake those freshmen again, in the next level. But for a guy like me, just come in and, like I said, listen to whatever coach has for me to play, and just executing the scheme, and the full intensity, and whatever he calls, I'm gonna go run 100 miles per hour and try to make a play.
That was Mitch Holtis interviewing running back Isaiah Pacheco at a Beatles concert circa 1964.
Yeah, it was.
With all the screaming girls in the background.
That was at Shea Stadium. If you take the sound,
nice.
It's like the JFK assassination, and you zero in on the background sound, it was the Beatles concert from Shea Stadium. So well done.
It's good stuff.
That's 66 or was that 65 when they
Shea
played
was
at Shea?
64 the first year they opened the stadium, I think. I think Shea was 64.
64.
Okay.
For the Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitch, you were there.
I was a vendor.
65, August 16th or August 15th, 1965. We just had the anniversary.
They went for like 30 minutes or something. It wasn't even like a
you couldn't hear anything. Have you ever watched that concert? You can't hear anything. The band was like joking around and changing the lyrics because of all the screaming people, and the speakers were so
All
bad.
I know is Ron Cranepool was playing right field.
Now we're getting some old Mets references. Here we go.
Leon Jones was in center. Choo Coleman was catching. So, and I think Roger Craig was on the mound with a 7-24 record.
You know a lot more about early 60s Mets baseball than I would have thought.
Hey, Choo Coleman's a legend, dude. Don't you forget it.
That's true. Good point. Well,
40 and 120. No team goes 40 and 120 and doesn't get some love on this show.
Well, speaking of Pacheco, we talked about this last week, but backup running back was kind of one of those spots to watch, and he's certainly in the mix. But we talk about it around here with special teams. One way you're going to make a roster or make an impact is if you can make an impact on special teams, and it sounds like, I mean, how legit is it that he could be the number one kickoff returner?
Right now, he's won the job from the first week of camp, and he's held it. and nothing has happened to get him out of that role. The other thing is you can really make it if you become a four-core special teams player, meaning punt, punt return, kick return. He's also on punt coverage. He's a wing protector there. He's not on kickoff coverage. So he's on 2 of the 4. And that's a big deal, especially he's going to be a running back that gets some touches. I need to look at this. Did he play the Huskers? Did Rutgers ever play them when he was a running back?
What would his career have been at Rutgers?
We just came out. I mean, we just took him in the 7th round. So it'd have been.
Yeah, you would have played him in 2020 then.
Okay, and maybe that's COVID. I know it got weird.
Yeah.
This guy's really interesting. I mean, he's just something south of 220. He runs a 4.38. Kind of a Niall Davis-ish looking. People have compared him to Kareem Hunt. I'm not going to go there with him yet. He's got to have a little better vision and find the holes. But the Chiefs have something here, and they got him in the 7th round. The other thing, he's overcome so much in his life. Like at Rutgers, he's good enough in this day and age. Somebody comes and gets him in the transfer portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina goes, what are you doing at Rutgers, dude? Come on. But he stayed. He wanted to stay. He said, Rutgers is the only team that recruited me. And he had the tragedy of losing his brother, who was murdered, I believe, in 2016 or 17. And then it wasn't like a year and a half later, his sister, who he's really close to, was murdered in a separate incident. I mean, this kid has had too much tragedy and seen too much life too early, but he's very mature emotionally and mentally. It's like all these rookies. But the Chiefs may have found gold in the 7th round with Isaiah Pacheco, and then they put number 10 on him, right? It's like giving somebody number 3 for the Yankees. I mean, Tyreek Hill gets traded and you go, who wants 10? Oh, Isaiah, you want you to take it, put 10 on. But nobody's thought anything about it. The kids play pretty good ball.
By the way, he did play in the 2020 game. That was the Ice Bowl there, the last game of the
on
COVID
a Friday
season.
night.
And
Did he score?
He did. He had a 33-yard touchdown run.
Huh.
All right, I'm sorry.
There you go.
33-yard touchdown run against
And
Nebraska.
you just look at his total, 700, 800, 700, 800, and he's not running behind Will Shields on that Rutgers offensive line.
Mitch, Mahomes, 12 and 19, 2 touchdowns, over 150 yards. I was listening this morning to the NFL podcast that The Athletic does, and Nate Tice, son of former NFL coach Mike Tice, he said that Patrick Mahomes, what he has seen from him this, really the offseason leading into the year, he's on a warpath and is playing pissed off right now, and he meant it in the best way possible. We've talked a little bit with you about really some of the discussion that has come, especially out of like the Tyreek Hill quotes about him being down there playing with Tua. Have you noticed the similar thing that Tice has with Mahomes' warpath, playing pissed off?
Josh, this is our 16th report of 20 with you guys before we do our weekly segments in the regular season. And segment 1, the very first one on August 1st, I alluded to this, that there's a chip on these guys' shoulder, and yeah, they're a little bit ticked off. Patrick's diplomatic enough, but you got to ask, even in a news conference after Tyreek was talking on his podcast, and he's like, he kind of said it in a parenthetical way, but like, yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. So that was his way of going, yeah, watch this. And he's going to flame throw. He's been on fire the last 2 weeks. The best news for Patrick Mahomes and everybody in the Chiefs Kingdom is these guys are 3 of 3 in the red zone on all 3 of his possessions. These aren't 80-yard bombs. And it's actually been better to get them the way they've got them. And they've gone to, Blake Bell, Jody Fortune, which is another good sign because in the red zone, the Chiefs have been 14th, and 20th the last 3 years in red zone production. But in the red zone, you've got to attack the width of the field, all 53-yard width of the field. Now they got a way better job of doing that, even because Tyreek could run by and get an 80-yarder, but in the red zone, you had to scheme him. He's not going to make the play the other day that they did with Fortson, where he just shielded off the dude like boxing him out in basketball, and Patrick throws to the boundary and nobody can get to it but Fortson. I mean, there's just something different to this team, but mainly it is Mahomes. And yes, he's fired up and ticked off and on fire.
And there is a preseason game on Thursday against Green Bay.
The last one.
And tomorrow's an important day because it marks the second to the last cut day of the
I
calendar.
don't know. There could be one surprise in this cut, but
Patrick
we'll see.
Mahomes?
We'll know by the time I go on with you guys because it's got to be by 3:00, right? This one may be calm, but of course the next one is the deluge.
What would you do, Mitch, if Patrick Mahomes was on that list tomorrow?
What would I do if he did?
Yeah, let's
Go to the Cowboys.
Let's just say Brett Veach walks down the hall. You know, he finds you in your dorm room, knocks on the door, and says, "Hey, Mitch, just letting you know for your media appearances today, we're cutting Patrick Mahomes."
Then I'm going Thelma and Louise on that bridge over the Missouri River in Omaha. It's Thelma and Louise, boys. The tires would be just spinning. And yeah, that'd be the last you'd see of Mitchie the Kid.
Yeah, but the problem is there would be so many other Chiefs fans that have filled the gully down there that you would just land on top of them. You wouldn't even go anywhere.
God, I even applied for the Creighton play-by-play job.
Hey,
you kid.
I get the championship team this year.
Oh, go get it. Just get to the Sweet 16 and we'll talk.
All right, we're working on it.
I say that kindly. You know, I'm a Blue Jay.
We know you are. We know you are.
Go win.
But you think there may be a surprise tomorrow?
May be a surprise. I'm not trying to tease tomorrow.
No.
Consider me teased.
Just hang in there, boy.
All right, we will. That is our training camp report brought to you by Hy-Vee, official grocery partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitch, we'll look forward to tomorrow.
See you, boys. I'm going to watch some old Mets video and watch that Beatles concert.
Good luck hearing it.
Thank you.
You bet. Mitch
Bye,
Oltis
Mitch.
joining us from Chiefs training camp here on 1620 The Zone.
How about the beginning? 16th of 20th reports. 1620. That's the name of the station.
And that's where we're at.
That's where we are. 1620.
Right now. The Zone.
This is the last week of the reports.
Yeah.
And the last week of 25 teams in 25 days. Nick, just play the Beach Boys song for John because I think he's going to start getting sad.
I'm not saying anything. Summer's already dead. I just retweeted something from the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. They have been getting deluged with heavy rains in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I mean, like 10 inches within 6 hours type stuff.
Whoa, 10 inches.
So at President Gerald Ford today. Gerald Ford Stadium, which is the home of the SMU Mustangs. There is so much rain on the field that it has gotten under the field turf. And it has raised the field turf in, ironically, it's a shape that looks like a football. That's about 15 yards long by about 10 yards wide.
With the laces.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
And there's enough water underneath that it's kind of created this dome. Meanwhile, the rest of the field isn't totally flooded by water. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, on a football field. But crazy how much rain they're getting down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I don't think they're very happy about it.
John, I'm not a TV ratings guy.
Yeah.
But the numbers have come out for the show that we're not allowed to talk about today because Nick was being lazy.
You can talk about it.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I'll just ignore you.
Largest series premiere in HBO history.
Whoa.
10 million viewers.
I saw a video on Twitter earlier. Somebody just standing outside of an apartment complex in New York, and they could see most people's TVs were watching House of the Dragon.
10 million viewers.
So a lot of people, as much as people were kind of out, I wasn't going to watch this, remember? Remember when we
and then
talked
you started
about
getting excited within the last, month
I
or
don't
so?
know
You were like,
why.
I'll watch.
They did a hell of a job of promoting it.
Because of all my Game of Thrones themes.
So, again, we're not allowed to talk about it today because of Nick. I am all in. I very much enjoyed it. I had a great time.
Josh liked the part where the guy's butt was hanging out and then something fell off or got cut off.
I'd say that part. Yep.
Well, coming up next, don't worry, Joe in Boulder. We're just going to play the Frosty highlights. We won't opine about them at all.
But I want to opine.
All right, fine. We'll opine about them. Frosty highlights and more. The happy hour of our first day of game week.
Football week.
On 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash on eastbound Dodge at 129th is causing delays through there. Otherwise, it looks like the right lane still closed for both directions on Highway 275 between Center and 165th, causing a 3 to 5 minute delay through there. And then if you're south on the JFK, traffic down to just one lane at F Street, and it's got traffic stop and go all the way back from eastbound I-80, so avoid the southbound JFK if you can. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Announcing the Nebraska Lottery's Your Part Second Chance promotion. Enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska State Park scratch ticket for a chance to win a 2-night stay in a beautiful cabin at one of our state parks. Top prize odds, 1 in 88,000.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Betting podcast. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Betting show page on 1620thezone.com. At Sharp and Betting, we got a podcast.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model, plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
It's your time for higher education, not higher debt. And it all starts with a scholarship application to Metropolitan Community College. Every year, MCC awards more than $3 million in scholarships to students. In less than 5 minutes with a single application, you can apply for all the scholarships available to you. It's your time to path forward. Let MCC show you the way. Register today. Classes start September 6th. Apply today at mccneb.edu/scholarships.
Celebrate September Fest, Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 5th outside the CHI Center. There are games, carnival rides, and food, plus clowns, robots, and a KCBC barbecue cook-off. Friday, there's Omaha Fight Club, boxing on Saturday, and epic music all weekend long, including Shoot to Thrill on Sunday. Monday, it's the Labor Day Parade through downtown at 10 a.m., along with the All-American Car Show. September Fest at CHI Center, Lot D. Click SeptemberFestOmaha.org for times and parking info.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
It'd be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
It would be nice to have a pro
Throw.
when you're gone.
You notice they put posters in our studio?
I did notice they put posters in our studio.
Why?
Because
they're not. I mean,
for football season.
Couldn't get a frame for them or anything.
You know why?
They're just taped to the wall with Scotch tape.
Happy Hour's on the
I mean, elementary kids don't even use Scotch tape to put their posters up anymore.
Ha!
They should have got some of that blue putty at least.
No, get the.
Well, get a nice
the 3M.
frame.
I mean, yeah,
Get a nice
You
frame.
can do that too.
Like we have for these pictures of Memorial Stadium.
Well, maybe they didn't bother framing them yet because we don't know how the season's going to go. They might just get ripped down anyway.
Well, that doesn't stop people from hanging them.
Sorry,
in
Joan Boulder.
I mean, we can always, take the thing out of the frame and replace them with next year's poster, or maybe a Creighton basketball schedule poster. By the way, if you didn't notice, and for those of you who are watching in the stream, you know what I'm talking about. So we got the two posters behind us.
Mm-hmm.
They always do an offensive and a defensive schedule poster. And the defensive poster has O'Shawn, Henrich, Nelson, Newsom, Tanner, Buford, Robinson, Wynn, Reimer on it.
Yeah.
The offensive poster has Ramir, Benhart, Manning, Prohaska, Irvin, Palmer, Grant Yant, Hickson, Vokalek, and Corcoran.
Corkboard.
Where's Casey Thompson?
John, when I told you this earlier, when they printed the poster, he wasn't the starter. They hadn't named him the starter.
There's 4 running backs
Yeah, but you
on this
can't
poster.
put
They're not
one-
gonna run the wishbone plus.
You can't put one quarterback
What
on
if
there.
they
You'd
do?
have to put both
They
quarterbacks.
put 4 running backs on here.
You use 4 running backs. They will use 4 running backs at various points. They won't have alternating
Casey
quarterbacks.
Thompson has been the anointed one since the day he came over from
Now,
Texas.
My mom, I know she works from home and she is listening right now. Well, hopefully she's listening. Mom, if you're listening.
Not live. She's done
If
listening.
you're listening, they have a bunch of these schedule posters down in the basement. Mom, if you're listening, I'd like you to go downstairs and take a picture of the 2007 poster, because if I remember right,
well, we don't want to be comparing to that team.
Sam Keller and Joe Gans are not on the poster because they had not decided who the starting quarterback was going to be.
But again, they put 4 running backs on there,
Yeah.
and there's a good chance old Jock Yant ain't gonna play that much.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Wow, hater.
Manning may not be a starter.
Yeah, but they'll play. It's quarterback. This is
Again,
all political. That's why you don't put one quarterback on there, and if you don't know who
They
if he's
put
gonna,
4 running backs on there.
if
That's
you
my
don't,
only point.
If you don't know if he's going to be the starter, you're definitely not putting 2 guys on there. That'd be goofy. 2 quarterbacks way goofier than 4 running backs.
I
This
think
is
you're
normal.
stretching. I think you're stretching.
No,
you're stretching. Come on, from day one. From day one, Casey Thompson's been the
You
starting
think
quarterback.
there was any chance that Sam Keller wasn't going to start? That's what they do.
Hey, don't use 2007. That was 15 years
I'm
ago.
just trying to say, if there was any fear that Casey wouldn't be the guy, you can't put him on the
But
poster.
they didn't have any fear putting Jock on there.
Because he'll carry the ball.
Not that much.
What's not that much mean? Where's this opinion coming from?
What do you mean not that much? You think Jock
Joe
Yant's
Boulder
gonna?
was
you
right.
think Jock Yant is going to be in the mix for heavy duty carries this year?
Why wouldn't he be? They always talk
Because
about
they have Gabe Irvin and they have Anthony Grant and then Ramir's getting
That's
all this
3
love. And,
guys.
oh, by the way, AJ Allen may get pulled out of his
You
red
don't think
shirt.
Yant's going to be involved carrying the football?
Not very much.
Interesting. I hadn't
Not
heard
when you
that.
got those other guys.
I hadn't heard that.
I just thought it was weird.
See, it's funny. I didn't. When you guys were talking about this earlier, it was like because there was a quarterback battle. This is what they always do. Hey, you laugh all you want.
I am
Laugh
laughing.
it up, fuzzball. This
I
is what-
am
This is
laughing.
what they do. They're being diplomatic.
Yeah, they're being very diplomatic. Hey, why didn't they just put every running back on
Severe
there?
asks who was on the poster in 2010. Mom, if you're also listening, take a picture of the 2010 poster. I bet there's no quarterback on that one too.
What if they're
this is what they
amazing this
do.
season and it's all because of the quarterback?
Turner Gill was on the scoring explosion poster.
Well, the scoring explosion poster is cool. This isn't a cool poster. No offense.
There you
Joe
go.
and Boulder.
I can't argue with that.
I wanted to read a couple of responses real quick about the Joe and Boulder email before we get to Frosty highlights. KG, not Kevin Garnett, says, I am getting owned for being that guy who wanted Frost right after Bo. I've been following Frost coaching stints for a while and was the biggest supporter. I mean, biggest Frost supporter. I thought with all the coaches he had been associated with and offensive mindsets, he'd be a great coach. I wanted him to come to Nebraska after Bo was fired. I was talking so much Frost, I was banned for at least 6 months from the Sharp and Benning show. Now Frost is just killing me. I cannot figure out how he is not winning. He is making me look really bad, so I want him to win so I can shut up the guys who are just killing me and razzing me all the time. So this guy is doing what I told people not to last segment, but it's so he can talk trash to his friends. Leave me alone, basically. Another couple responses. Jonathan, who's an Iowa fan, says, got to give it to Husker fans. Their ability to think the team will be this good after how the Frost era has gone so far is impressive. If it was Iowa, I'd be making a mopey 5-win season prediction. Well, stay tuned for later this week if you want to hear a mopey 5-win prediction. And then one more. Brad says, going back to Joe's email, sometimes I feel that way about you guys too, but I think my anger is misguided. I'm just angry in general with the poor results the last few years. I don't really I don't really know what I expect you guys to say sometimes. Just don't get all happy about it. I understand. Look,
don't get happy about the fact that Casey Thompson got left off the poster.
Very
the
normal.
Dude took his whole offensive line out
Very
for a
normal.
very expensive seafood dinner, and he never called their mothers again.
Hey, man, it's just being
And can't
diplomatic.
even get on the poster.
Just being diplomatic.
I have a better chance of being on that poster than Casey Thompson, apparently.
That's not true.
Well, I got my degree at Nebraska.
Give the ball to Yant. I was never even a huge Yant guy last year, but now I'm going to be this year, just to prove you wrong.
I don't think Yant's going to factor in
guy.
very much this year. I really don't.
Wow.
I don't.
Wow.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. And if I am, I'll be happy to admit it to the whole wide
Admit
world.
you're wrong, John.
Casey Thompson wins the Heisman this year, and people will go, hey, Casey, can you autograph my... Oh, wait, you're not even on here. I should be the one doing all the promotions. You know what we need?
What?
Some Frosty highlights. Yes, Scott Frost yesterday spoke to the media because yesterday was actually Monday when it comes to game week due to all of the travel involved. In fact, speaking of travel, Frost was asked, how in the world are you guys going to acclimate to time change? There was, I can't remember where I read this, but when, I think it was in Sip's story, he did a story about Nebraska's trip to Tokyo back in 92. And Barry Alvarez famously wouldn't let his players sleep on the flight
because he wanted them to
get on the Tokyo body clock as soon as possible. Well, Frost, they've been working with the people there in the research department in the East Stadium. They've been calling NFL teams who go over and play in London. They have been going through all the different protocols to try to figure out what's going to be the best way to acclimate these guys to a 6-7 hour time difference.
Flying overnight, I think the priority is making sure guys try to get to sleep on the plane. So we're gonna black it out about an hour after takeoff and try to get as much as we can, and then land and see how long everything takes. But we're taking them through customs and going straight to the stadium to get a little workout, try to knock some rust off, then headed to the hotel. Give them a little downtime. Then we have dinner and a little cultural thing, and we're going to try to get them back to sleep. And the goal is to try to make sure when they wake up on Wednesday, they've had a really good night's sleep on Tuesday night, and they're ready to kind of pick up where we left off here.
Yeah, I have never gone overseas. You've never gone overseas too, right?
Nope.
So the biggest time difference that I've ever done, I think it's just going Central to Pacific time zone. I don't think I've ever gone more than 2 time zones away.
Yeah, well, okay, so when Creighton played in the wasn't Virgin Islands, it was Cayman Islands. Cayman is in the Atlantic time zone,
so that's
which
2
is
hours to the east,
which is an hour ahead of Eastern time.
Yeah,
so it was really jumping 2 hours, and it was kind of weird. You kind of felt it a little.
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, you definitely do. Plus the flight itself. So and that's
long flight.
That's gonna take a little bit out of you. So I get that being like a huge concern. I've thought about it a lot too.
Absolutely.
And just trying to make sure, because everyone always says, depending on what you're doing, if you land there after a long flight and it's 11 a.m. or whatever, just try to stay up and just try to power through. So that, in Northwestern, they're leaving later in the week. There was a question we got earlier before the show started, like, could this end up helping Nebraska that Northwestern maybe has less time to
When is
acclimate?
Northwestern
I
leaving?
believe they're Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah.
So apparently Frost and Fitzgerald got their advice from different sources.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or
they did their own research.
Mm-hmm. And they are a whole hour ahead of us in terms of flight time. That's a whole hour
I was going to say,
less.
same time zone, but a little closer, just a tad bit closer.
But I do wonder Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a talking point, I'm sure. Frost asked about this year's week 0, last year's week 0. You know, I think we spent more time last offseason talking about the importance of this week 0 more than this year's.
We did.
I mean, the whole, man, this Illinois game is going to set the tone conversation pretty much started in February of that year and just carried.
Yeah,
this one hasn't really taken on that life.
Is it because they beat them last year,
Maybe.
whereas they had lost to Illinois the year before?
Well, here's Frost on comparing this year's week 0 to last year.
This game matters as much as the week 0 game last year. I would, looking back on it, say we were a little too tight going into that game because everybody knew how much it mattered. We're going to go out there and let it rip. And I'm going to have more conversations with them about it. They've earned the right to be confident. I'm sure Northwestern is too. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. But I don't want the guys to worry about anything. We're just going to go out and play the best football we can and try to make great plays.
I wish someone would have asked a follow-up because I'm intrigued by that statement. We've earned the right, or they've earned the right. Sorry, Mitch Sherman got in trouble for saying that we. They've earned the right to be confident. I would like to follow up. Why do you think they've earned the right to be confident? It's a great line.
Yeah.
But, what exactly it means, I'm sure it would probably be some generic answer about, well, the way they've practiced, the way they've come together, et cetera, et cetera. But it's still an interesting idea that they have earned the right to be confident.
Yeah, the usual stuff or something different, in ball camp.
Last week before Puke practice, the controversy was about the Irish Times. The Irish Times. Now, there wasn't a question specifically asked about the Irish Times, which all involved Nebraska transgressions that predated the arrival of pretty much most, if not all, of the players on this year's team. But, well, give this a listen.
Yeah, they're a lot better team than that score indicated. I don't know if we were as good.
Yeah, I should clarify. This question was asked about Northwestern.
Okay, about last year.
And taking lessons from last year.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a lot better team than that score indicated. I don't know if we were as good as that score indicated. It was just one of those days, and I've been on either side of that. I think they're going to be hungry against us, but I know how hungry our team is. There's been some things written about our team that I think have provided us a little extra motivation and could help us. So it's going to be two teams that are hungry over there.
Now, I think there's an assumption being made here that he is referring directly to that Irish Times story, which didn't talk about the quality of Nebraska's current team, but It was about,
the history of the program.
Some of the things that made the writer uncomfortable, and a reason why it should make Irish people uncomfortable that Nebraska's even showing up. Now, maybe Frost was actually talking about some other things. Maybe there were other prognostications that were specific to
the Tom
this year's
Chappelle
team.
hot dog column?
No, not the Tom Chappelle hot dog column. But it would be interesting if the Irish Times story was being used as motivation, because, again, it didn't really involve – it's not talking about, man, Casey Thompson, he sucks as a quarterback. He sucks so bad, they didn't even put him on the damn poster.
You should write that column.
Or,
Column.
They think their running game's going to be good.
They got Yant. They got Jock Yan. He's on the poster.
So it would be weird if that were to actually be motivation for the team, because it's not like any of those guys were attacked.
Yeah.
How
how
we're going back to Lawrence Phillips, and we're, Ron Brown testifying in front of the Lincoln City Council, or the Maurice Washington. None of those things matter.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, you know how coaches are, though. They'll make up slights. So maybe
that's what Frost did, is he had someone go in and change the column, change the byline, and the column was actually by Pat Fitzgerald.
Whoa! Look at this blog I found from the coach on the other side of the
writing
field.
for the Irish Times. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I was with you though. I didn't know, because I saw everyone saying, "Oh man, he went after the Irish Times." I got no idea. I'm not even going to try to guess who he'd be talking about. That said, I really don't think there's been a whole lot of negative columns around here about Nebraska, so it almost kind of has to be that. I guess I just guessed, even though I said I wasn't going to try.
One of the big questions in the offseason particularly in fall camp, was getting the new and the old to work together. You have all of these transfers, most of which will be on the 2 deep. A lot of them will be starting, even if they don't show up on the poster. Here is Frost on the process of bringing the new guys and the old guys together as one.
I couldn't be happier with that piece, the meshing of these parts. Now, we haven't hit any adversity yet, and I think the first test of that will be when we hit some adversity. But in this day and age, with the ability to add transfers to your team, I think it makes guys like Garrett Nelson, Nick Henrich, Caleb, I could go on and on, makes those guys even more valuable, because we need to make sure our culture is in place and intact and strong. And then when you add new pieces, those guys come in and adopt that culture. And you can't have that balance go the wrong way. I think you can lose your team. The leadership on the team and the culture that already existed in the locker room, I think, was easy for the new guys coming in, and I compliment them. They did a great job coming in and being a part of a team, not an individual. So I'm really happy with where that sits.
That quote is so interesting to me, because he talks about, kind of the new players coming in and adapting to Nebraska's culture. They won 3 games last year. Is that a good thing?
That's one of the areas, not to go back and beat up on poor Joe in Boulder again, but when he talks about growth, it's hard for me to believe that the culture is good when you've had 4 straight losing seasons. And last year was the worst of the 4. It's just hard for me to believe that there had to be some change in the culture. Yet, if you press or tried to press Frost on the issue, he was always, hey, no, the culture's fine.
Yeah.
We got the right thing in place. We just needed better pieces. And I personally just don't find that easy to believe.
Yeah.
So, listen, you can bring in all the new faces you want, but if the culture still sucks, you're still going to get less than desired results.
Like, one of the things, like a reason why, in my opinion, they didn't
put Casey Thompson on the post.
They didn't get blown out last year was because I thought that was a group of players that really, really knew each other, and I think for the most part cared about each other.
Yeah.
And I think that showed itself. You wonder if a game goes sideways. For example, they were down 30-9 last year against Illinois. They came back. They made it a 1-score football game. What happens if they're down 30-9 in a football game this year, just given that they don't know the guy to their left, the guy to their right as well as they did in 2021?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah.
Speaking of confidence and the new guys, check out this from Scafra.
It's a confident group right now. And I'd point to some of the new guys for that. I think one of the best things about the changes that have been made is we've added a lot of really confident guys. I'd point to Trey Palmer, Marcus Washington. Some of those guys are almost confident to a fault, and our offense needed a little injection of that. I think the coaches have done a good job with that too, and it has a little bit different feel to it. I wouldn't say the X's and O's identity has changed a whole lot, but maybe the overall attitude has.
Do you like the idea that confidence is being injected into the program from the new guys?
Yeah, I don't think it can hurt. I mean, I guess it could hurt. Everything could, but I like it. I like it. If they start closing out some games and performing, better in the fourth quarter. I mean, especially given the quarterback position, we're going to have Max Olson on Wednesday. He had a really good story about Adrian Martinez today in The Athletic, and he had a stat in there that was just mind blowing about them. Adrian with an opportunity to take the lead late, and I think the record was 0-13 in those moments. Having a Casey Thompson, a new guy, here, yeah, I think that could help for sure.
Why did he get the starting job but got left off the poster? Scott Frost on what got Casey Thompson the job.
I'd say the biggest thing I would point to with experience is just lack of mistakes. Anytime you're a new player, there's more mistakes than somebody who's had experience. And a lot of quarterbacks played well in camp. I'd say Casey had the fewest turnovers, fewest buzz, fewest mistakes. I think experience is going to be even more important when you're going overseas to play in another country, a different environment. This isn't a home game. This is a completely different thing. And he's played a lot of college football, so I think the environment will be natural to him.
Yeah, and along those lines, like you watch football games when they play in Europe, NFL games, the field is always a little different. The sod is different. Like even things as small as
that's
that,
true.
you
Good
wonder how it matters. Speaking of going overseas, a couple of quick responses. Steve says, I have many years past in my Army days traveled back and forth from the States to West Germany, which is, if I remember, about a 7-hour difference from there to here. Jet lag is rough, very rough. I did find it easier personally coming back west than going east. Kelsey says it's a lot easier to adjust going west to east than east to west. I've been fine after a day in Europe. Just lag coming home is awful.
So it's interesting. They have different experiences.
Exactly. Exactly. And then a lot of people have given their takes on how they go to bed or staying up, not staying up, eating dinner. It just sounds
Where the hell are all the takes?
Complicated.
Where's Casey?
Everyone
He's not on
knows,
my poster.
Everyone knows why he's not on the poster.
No, they don't.
They printed these
don't
posters
know.
weeks ago, months ago, in fact.
Yeah. They put Sean committed in what, May?
He wasn't in a quarterback battle. He's a lineman.
We had no idea he was going to win the starting job.
Nice.
We knew at the same... Never mind. I'm fighting for you, Casey. He don't got your back. I got your back.
I think I'm on John's side.
Coming up, John Borton. John Borton and Casey Thompson have one thing in common. They're both not on the poster.
You know what, though? If Michigan put out a poster, they ain't putting the quarterbacks on there. Though maybe they would.
Yes, they are. Kate McNamara is going to be on the Michigan poster.
But would both guys be on the poster?
Maybe.
Let's ask him if they have a poster and how many quarterbacks are
Michigan next in 25 teams, 16-20 the zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. You were maybe at a football game last weekend, and maybe there'll be some more football games in your near future. Volleyball matches, whatever it is, you'll be watching your son, your daughter play sports. You'll be going and seeing the college team an hour down the road, perhaps a professional team 3 hours south of here. And sometimes you have the great seats. Sometimes you are up in nosebleeds. You want to be able to see as clearly as possible. Get this fall kicked off the right way by scheduling a consultation today by giving Kugler Vision a call at 402-558-2211, or you can hit up their website, kuglervision.com. They offer how many? 7 different procedures. Maybe you qualify for LASIK. Maybe you don't. I have one of my best friends. He said that, I was told I didn't qualify for LASIK. He didn't realize he could follow up because this was one of those other spots to go. Don't go to a spot that says if you don't qualify for LASIK, you can't get anything. I didn't qualify for LASIK, and yet I have not had glasses for over 4.5 years. 402-558-2211 or schedule the consultation online at kuglervision.com.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly clear and quiet as we head into your Monday night, expecting temperatures to fall into the mid-60s. After a mild start Tuesday, expect a couple of clouds by Tuesday morning, giving way to afternoon sunshine. Toasty with a high tomorrow of 91. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, a crash on eastbound Dodge at 129th is causing delays through there. Otherwise, it looks like the right lane still closed for both directions on Highway 275 between Center and 165th, causing a 3 to 5 minute delay through there. And then if you're south on the JFK, traffic down to just one lane at F Street, and it's got traffic stop and go all the way back from eastbound I-80, so avoid the southbound JFK if you can. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Burton AC, Plumbing, Heating, and More.
The dog days of summer are here in Burton. AC Heating, Plumbing, and More is offering a special $55 AC system check. Each system check donates 10 pounds of pet food to the Nebraska Humane Society. Give us a call or request service at justcallburton.com.
Businesses all across eastern Nebraska and western Iowa have trusted Host Coffee for their coffee, water, and vending needs. Give your business the whole host of options. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Watch the summer sky light up at Warner Park this season. Enjoy one of the Omaha Storm Chasers' 10 Friday fireworks shows presented by Hy-Vee. Find those Friday firework dates and plan your visit to Warner Park at omahastormchasers.com.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Betting podcast. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Betting show page on 1620thezone.com. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program. Start the countdown to kickoff of the college football season.
Carr with a burst of speed. Touchdown, Michigan. And the Wolverines go back on top. Martinez into a crowd. And it is an intercepted. It was batted up in the air by Daxton Hill. The Wolverines think he caught it. And the officials agree. Here comes the Penn State blitz. Lots of running room down the sideline. Eric All, the tight end. Will they catch him? No! Touchdown, Michigan!
3rd and 5 at the 7. McNamara standing strong in the pocket, and it's caught. Anthony with a burst. Anthony down the sideline. Andrew Anthony. Touchdown, Wolverines. 93 yards like that.
Woo! It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct's 25 teams in 25 days.
Nick, you lucked out there because I was about to rip you for not playing the right part of the Michigan fight song.
He did that over the summer, and I was triggered.
But the little preamble there got us through most of the highlights, and then we hit the crescendo at the end. Of course, last year, Michigan hit a crescendo at home when they finally conquered the Ohio State University, got themselves to the college football playoff, and now they come in at number 5 in our composite poll, 25 teams in 25 days. John Borton covers the Wolverines for On3.com. John, thanks for joining us.
Great to be with you, and they've got to play the victors a few more times last season than they certainly had the year before when they went 2-4. Quite the turnaround.
Yeah, there were some Ohio State fans in that game looking at each other going, what's this song?
I hadn't heard this one before.
At least for a while.
No doubt about it.
We know that Cade McNamara is the leader of this offense, though we did see sprinkles of J.J. McCarthy throughout the season, including in some key moments last year. Assuming all are healthy, do you think a similar usage at quarterback is what we can expect this year, or does McNamara take even a harder hold of the reins?
I think that McNamara gets more time. He's more used to it. He's been through it a year. He's certainly got extensive snaps in against big opponents. And there are people out there that will tell you by midseason this kid's going to take over, which would be quite a feat when you consider the fact that McNamara has been through it, won the Big Ten last year, beat Ohio State, got Michigan to its first ever college football playoff, and to have a backup that people are insisting this guy's going to be the guy before you ever get to Columbus. You know the level of talent he has. I lean towards McNamara because he has taken control of this team. He makes good decisions. He reads defenses really well. I just think it would take something, a real letdown on his part at some point to see that switch made.
John, is like the conversation surrounding what to do there about who gives them a chance at a higher ceiling? I mean, they made the playoff. You know, they finally got past the Ohio State monster. They win their first conference title in almost 2 decades. Is the discussion about who could maybe take them a little bit further?
That's exactly what it is. Everybody that's anticipating that J.J. McNamara or McCarthy will be the guy is saying just that. Better, higher ceiling. He's got the great feet. He's got a stronger arm. He makes plays out of nothing. He'll do this. He'll do that. And all the while, you wonder what might he not do as well. And I just, the kid has a world of talent. He's going to be an excellent quarterback. But you're right. it's all about the higher ceiling. I don't think, J.J. McCarthy, if he'd have started that Georgia game and played to the finish, he might not have stayed upright because he scrambled one time and almost got his head taken off. But I don't think it would have been a whole lot different result because you had a whole handful of first-round draft choices on that Georgia defense.
A lot of folks forget that maybe one of Michigan's best receivers didn't even make it through the season last year. Ronnie Bell got lost in the first game, and, of course, a lot of younger guys got a chance to play last year. Now they are all back. This certainly shapes up to be maybe Michigan's deepest position group, so then you factor that in with another year of experience for Cade McNamara. Could this be the most explosive Michigan passing game we've seen in recent memory?
It will be. I don't see any way around that. And understand that Jim Harbaugh is not going to be any less of a run-first guy because he's got a great offensive line back, and he's deep at the running back position. He's got Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards there, who are a great 1-2 combo. But to your point, it is a hugely deep set of wide receivers. Ronnie Bell, the guy that you referenced, could be the best of all of them. He played one game, big play, and then he's out. He is back, and he is at full strength. We've seen clips of him in practice going up against defensive backs. He'll be very, very good. But they've got 6 to 8 guys that could be number one type guys. Cornelius Johnson, who was the leading receiver last year. Andrell Anthony, who was a true freshman and tore up Michigan State in that game. So much talent. The 3 true freshmen that Jim Harbaugh pulled in, he called a freak show in practice and in the most complimentary way. So I think that Jim Harbaugh likened it to a pitcher in baseball having a great fastball, which is the run game, and developing a wicked curve. So I think you're going to see it was very balanced last year between passing and running, but I think you're going to see even more through the air.
John, looking at the other side of the ball, 7 starters, a couple of them being first-round draft picks, defensive coordinator, all gone from last year's defense. It's going to be their third now defensive coordinator in as many seasons. I guess, I wonder what you think about the offense maybe having to carry the team a little bit, and what can we expect from the defense as the year goes along?
I think that's what a lot of people are saying early, that this offense will be able to carry them through. I don't think it'll be necessary early on because you're not playing anybody of note in the non-conference season. Then you got Maryland by the 5th game, which is going to be your toughest game to date at Iowa. I think that defense will be better than anybody thinks it might be. And I'll tell you what, you mentioned Mozzie Smith, who is a very, very large human being, a defensive tackle, a veteran now, that the offense will have to carry the defense, and he'll give you a look like he's about to eat you. They feel very good about this defense. Jim Harbaugh has come out and said this defense could be better than last year's. And of course, you're talking last year a defense where you had Aiden Hutchinson and those edge rushers that were so good. They're not going to be as good off the edges, but they're going to be strong up the middle. They've got a lot of talent and young talent that's coming along. And you mentioned the change in coordinators. Jesse Minter, who was with the Baltimore Ravens along with last year's defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, and Minter coached at Vanderbilt last year, but very same basic philosophy. He comes from that Ravens tree, and that means that this defense is not going to learn. It's not throw out the playbook. They're very familiar with a lot of things that Jesse Minter's doing, and that was by design. When McDonald went back to the Ravens after the season, Minter plugs in, and you just move forward. So I don't think it's going to be one of these deals where these guys are lost early in the season.
John Borton covers the Wolverines for On3.com. we know that Hutchinson went first round and Jabo went second round. Obviously, both great players. But based on the roster makeup, which player will be harder to replace, just based on who is left?
You mean on the defense?
Yeah, between Hutchinson and Ajabo.
Oh, well, they both excellent players. I would say maybe Hutchinson because of such a high leadership component. David Ojabo was a great player, and he kind of came out of nowhere unexpectedly. Hutchinson the spotlight was on him. He was coming back from a knee injury. He sat down with me one-on-one in last summer when everyone was laughing at this team. When anybody talked highly about them, they were saying, look, this team went 2-4. They're not going to do anything. And Hutchinson would look you square in the eye and say, keep saying it. You keep saying it because you're going to show up to the games and you're going to see something different. I already have. You will. And I know he's pumping his team like this. And then they come out and they are the different team that Hutchinson was talking about. So I think the leadership component that he carried before the season ever started and throughout the year, that will be tough to replace. And they'll be looking for guys to step up there.
John, before I let you go, big picture, I'm just curious as to, I guess, where you think things go next for Michigan, under Harbaugh. I know we've mentioned a few times, but just getting past Ohio State last year obviously was massive, win the league, go to the playoff, don't perform very well, but it's Georgia. They end up winning the national championship. And then all the stuff that follows with him maybe not getting offered the Minnesota job. And now he's back at Michigan with some new coaching staff members. I guess, how have you taken all this in now as we have had the last, 8 months to kind of let things breathe a little bit, both looking back and maybe looking ahead at what you think Michigan can continue to be?
Yeah, with Jim Harbaugh, you have to look at, okay, how does he answer? How does he answer? He had the 2-4 COVID year, took a pay cut. Everybody was saying who cares if he leaves? And he answered that with last season. Then he takes a look at the NFL. His players said he kept us informed. We understand. We want to get there ourselves. But then how does he answer? How does he answer the critics that say, look, he's got one eye out the door? I mean, the way he's gone about putting together this roster and getting these guys ready for this season is going to say an awful lot. He's carrying as much swagger as I've seen him in his time back at Michigan. And this is a guy that knows something about carrying swagger. But so this is the answer to last year and the folks that think, well, you're a little distracted and you can't do it again.
John Borton covers the Wolverines for On3.com. John, we really appreciate it. Should be another exciting year in Ann Arbor. We appreciate it. Thank you very, very much and enjoy the year.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Schedule sets up pretty nicely.
Oh, yeah, the start especially.
Yeah, Colorado State, Hawaii, UConn. So there's really not that marquee non-conference game. You also start with 4 straight home games with Maryland at home.
I want to see the kickoff time for the Iowa game. That we've seen programs go into there. That place can be a hornet's nest, especially if it's a night game. Remember, they were the team that first beat the 2016 undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes. Of course, last year they beat Penn State. They had that famous win over Ohio State in 2017. Like, they have knocked off better teams than them at home because that crowd can really get into that football game. So what happens in that one? Obviously, Penn State before the bye. And, I know we talked about Michigan State a while ago in 25 teams, but like what that program is too. It's a really cool, interesting division this year.
Coming up, we have some unsportsmanlike content, but also if there were folks who believed that last week Scott Frost was willfully being reckless with the health and well-being of his offensive line, wait till you see the video that we have for you. And I would encourage you to go to our 1620thezone.com and watch along in the stream. We have video for you of Scott Frost truly being willfully reckless with his own body. This is legitimate video. This is not a trick. coming up next on 1620 The Zone. This also is not a trick, and that is McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning's Comfort Club, because twice a year you get an inspection of your furnace and your AC to make sure everything's working properly and working safely, which is something you need to keep in mind, gas furnace owners, when it comes time for the cooling season. You don't want carbon monoxide issues. And when you work with the pros at McCarthy's, you're dealing with drug-tested, trained, certified technicians with a combined over 100 years experience who take your problems as seriously as their own. Plus, that Comfort Club membership is a low monthly fee, which will never change for the lifetime of the membership, and get you a lot of other great perks, including you get moved to the front of the line when things get really busy if you have an emergency problem. So visit McCarthy's1hour.com and find out about the McCarthy's difference. Because for over 50 years, the slogan at McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has been always on time, or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's1hour.com.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Your vehicle is important. It gets you where you need to go, but it does much more than that. I'm Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center, and at Dingman's, we know your vehicle is an investment and that safety is your priority. To make sure your vehicle is as safe as it was prior to an accident, bring it to Dingman's for proper, safe, and certified repairs. We protect you and your investment. We've been voted Best of Omaha for the past 17 years. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Find us at dingmans.com.
Home is where your health is, where your family gathers together, takes care of each other. And right there with you is Nebraska Medicine. We're proud to take care of Nebraska, to deliver everything your family needs. From immediate care to neurosurgery, it's expertise you can be confident in. With locations throughout the region and telehealth appointments from the comfort of home. Find a provider close to you at nebraskamed.com.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Are you a self-proclaimed introvert?
Oh, 100%.
You'll love Bite. You can align your teeth with confidence without ever having to leave your home.
No dentist visits?
Not when you order clear teeth aligners from Bite.com. That's BYTE.com. Bite's at-home treatment plans are doctor-directed and start as low as $82 a month. Order your at-home impression kit for just $14.95. That's over 80% off. Just visit Bite.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your clear aligner journey with Bite.
This should be 8x7.
When it comes to closets, Janina's home organization business runs tip-top tidy.
Is this schedule right? I'm going to need help.
But she needs to reorganize and find a new assistant.
I know it's your last week, but can you make sure the Hanson pantry's wrapped?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Kirsten Bernthal Booth with Creighton Volleyball here. The 2022 season has arrived, and we need you in the stands as we look to defend our Big East title. Our 15-match home schedule is one of our best ever. In addition to our tough Big East slate, we are also hosting some of the top teams in the country, including Kentucky, USC, and Nebraska. Don't miss any of the action this season and get your tickets online now at gocreighton.com/buy. Go Jays!
John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
You don't need that cake. I'm going to eat your cake.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Unsportsmanlike content.
Content that's unsportsmanlike.
The Husker buses have pulled out of Lincoln and headed to Omaha, where they will fly out for Dublin. And again, at the end of this segment, we have video of Scott Frost being willfully reckless with his own body and putting this game this weekend in jeopardy.
Wow.
That's coming up. But first, some unsportsmanlike content.
As discussed earlier, the final SP Plus prediction of the offseason has Nebraska finishing as the 44th best team with 6.9
nice
wins. Are the computers biting a bit off? Being a bit... Okay, there it is. I'm back. Are the computers being a bit too not nice here? I thought it was something.
Well, we were hoping to get to this earlier.
We didn't get to this earlier, Nick.
Yeah, but we'll
I thought about it
a little bit more.
There was a
tomorrow.
tweet about it earlier.
Yeah, we'll get to this more in detail tomorrow. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's not even so much, Josh. I think that the computers have soured on Nebraska. It seems like they've gotten stronger about a lot of Nebraska's opponents, like Oklahoma, for example.
Well, that means they hate Nebraska then.
No, I just think they like Oklahoma a little more than they did in May.
Oklahoma's fourth in the SP Plus. Look, 7-win season. That'd be two better.
6.9, Josh.
I'm gonna round up there, Jonathan. That'd be the best year for Frost yet. It'd be Nebraska's best year since they won.
Well, so it's 6.9.
9. That's true. Now, look, I'll be honest. 7 wins, kind of cool. 6.9 wins, if they pulled that off, actually amazing. Frost, do it for us. Win 6.9 games this year.
Late last week, the Omaha Mavs unveiled this season's basketball court, and wouldn't you know it, there's an Omaha skyline on it. John, how triggered are you by this really cool court?
How cool that is.
Why would I be triggered?
Because you're always
I don't like cool basketball courts.
Bingo.
Oh, it makes it hard to see the lines. Open
Bingo.
your eyes.
Well, first of all, it is not hard to see the lines because it's not that obnoxious. What I'm worried about are the folks being triggered because did you notice, and it's a very nice design, and we've seen it, DePaul's got
Is
one.
that the Trump barn?
DePaul.
I'm not going to unsee that now,
That
Josh.
was going to be my comment, but not that it was the Trump barn, but that there is a barn in there. We all know how people get triggered every time there's a Nebraska game on it. Why does ESPN keep showing cornfields? So why does this skyline have a barn in it? There are no barns in the city of limits of Omaha.
Wrong.
Is that the Sat Bros? Is that the Sat Bros?
Boys Town has a barn.
Water tower?
That's probably what that barn is. It's Boys Town.
Boys Town on the
No,
skyline?
I think that's supposed to be I think that's the tower there on Omaha's campus. But yeah, there's
No, next to that.
Next. Oh,
Between
it
the
could be.
barn and that.
It could be.
Yeah, Omaha.
So maybe that is the Trump barn.
Yeah, it might be the Trump barn. John, as Stibbs and I tried.
I'm going to say with severe amount of confidence that
it's
is not the Trump barn.
Stibbs and I tried to tell you this for years. It's not that they show corn. It's that they only show corn, even though we have other stuff too.
Oh, but I keep hearing about
Like
Omaha.
beans.
We're so urban.
We are. Look
like,
at the
we don't like
buildings,
corn.
the bridge. We have
I
all
like
those
it.
things.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks nice, and it's not obnoxious where it makes it difficult to see the lines and stuff. It's a very nice design,
I think it looks sexy.
and I love the fact that there's a farm in there. Team Farm.
Old Mill Barn off the interstate is what a caller just said.
Old Mill Barn. Where is that at?
I think he said 144th.
Okay, cool.
Something like that.
All right.
Oh, John, this question didn't even... Yesterday, Kyle Larson passed teammate Chase Elliott on the last restart to win at Watkins Glen. Larson locked up his brakes and ran Elliott out of the racing group to get the pass. Afterwards, Larson was apologetic and Elliott was upset.
So was I.
John, is this going to spell trouble for the NASCAR playoffs?
I was
also,
upset because that screwed my bet of the day. I would have won.
How cool was it that former Formula One driver Kimi Räikkönen went from 27th to 8th in his first NASCAR race in years?
Then he couldn't handle that American power, and he powered his car right into a tire barrier.
Formula One cars were V10 at one point, right?
That doesn't matter. It was interesting. If you get a chance, go watch Elliott's post-race interview because, through gritted teeth, they tried to goad him into, hey, what'd you think of what Kyle did? What'd you think of this? He was like, I just want to congratulate my teammate, and it was good for our team today that we got a win.
You didn't sound happy.
But I will say this. That was one of the more muted post-race celebrations. Kyle Larson sheepishly got out of his car. Usually you get on top of the car and you to do the double fist pump and you exhort the crowd. And he just kind of got out of the car and kind of put his helmet down, answered a couple of questions. He knew that he had probably ticked off somebody pretty important. And that person being me, because I lost my 5-1 bet.
According to Bucks coach Todd Bowles, okay, Tom Brady's expected to return to practice this week. Will we ever find out why he was gone?
I don't think so. Did you see what one of the theories is? Good Lord. So, Nick, one of the theories is that he was filming The Masked Singer because, he's going to work for Fox.
Oh, no.
He was, look, I'll put it on the list.
True?
He was not filming The Masked Singer. This dude, he is one of the best competitors in sports in my lifetime. Would you agree with that? Like the dude, he really cares so much about winning.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Can we put this on the list?
I'm going to put it on the list. He was not doing The Masked Singer. I still don't know what the hell was going on, though. It's a weird story. Weird
Maybe he was Dancing with the Stars.
No.
That's competitive.
What if we found out he was like shooting TV commercials? What if we found out he was doing another cameo in a Seth MacFarlane
Why
movie?
would he do it in August? That's the part. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sticking with this. I think this is the year where Brady falls off a cliff.
Oh, I thought that you made fun of me the last time I said that.
No, I said from the beginning.
All right,
up
we're
here,
putting this on the
in the
list.
words of Kramer, up here he was already gone. He was retired for 5 weeks. He had checked out.
All right,
and then to turn around and come back, and now this goofy situation.
All right,
he ain't gonna be the same Tom Brady.
All right, so real quick, so on the list for today for John, August 22nd, Tom Brady is falling off, right? Is that what you basically said?
Yeah.
Tom Brady is falling off a cliff, I think was the exact quote.
Metaphorically.
Well, let's hope so. And then mine is he was not on what's the show called again?
The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer.
All right. Okay, cool.
Cam Jurgens is going to start for the Eagles, and he has been putting up highlights in the preseason.
In the hole, watch this. Seek and destroy, big man. Boom. Blast the safety. Get out of the club. It's the first.
Is it time to crown Philly's ass on the NFC least?
Okay, again, 2 playoff teams last year, 2 playoff teams from the toughest division in football.
You can't say that when you have the Giants and Washington in your division.
If it reverse jinxes them, man, I'll say whatever I have to. I'm getting look. They're a loaded team. They're
Cam
really
Jurgens videos all the time. I mean,
you follow Husker people.
Well, yeah, but Philly people are the ones originally tweeting them, and then the Husker fans are grabbing them.
Yeah.
But he has made
They're
a
going to be
splash.
good. They're going to be good. He's not going to be their starter. They're going to be good. Thank God they still have Jalen Hurts. If they had a good quarterback, I'd be so nervous about this year.
Eagle fan, just be prepared the first time Cam Jurgens misfires a snap because Josh is going to go nuts.
I won't say a word. Nary a word. Nary a word.
Nuts.
No, you'll hear it. You won't have to say a word.
Nary a word.
Yeah.
Nary a word.
Go ahead and skip to the last 2 there.
Dennis Rodman, a man used to dealing with tyrants, says he's going to Russia to negotiate the release of Brittany Griner. Will it do anything?
I mean, it probably won't hurt, right? I mean, the Russians are going to...
Don't say that, John.
Nah. The Russians are going to do what the Russians are going to do. They're going to take advantage of this for the PR. Said, it took an American sports figure to come over and do this, and then they're going to, be their usual Putin self.
He went over and hung out with Kim Jong-un before, too.
Yeah, they're buddies. Like I said, he's used to tyrants.
I had a thought. So if Dennis Rodman goes there to negotiate, Steven Seagal is already in Russia, taking Russia's side. So there's a universe where Steven Seagal and Dennis Rodman could be negotiating to get Brittany Griner back with each other.
Do you really think Steven Seagal is negotiating for Brittany Griner's behalf?
I think he'll do whatever Russia wants him to do. He's over there. He's hanging out there. He's buddies with Vlad.
Well, Josh, you have someone to watch the World Cup with.
Don't say these
because you
things.
were rooting for the
just was
Russians.
rooting. No, it wasn't. I was rooting for Wales.
Well, you were rooting. It was like rooting for Russia because you were rooting against Ukraine.
Wow.
A study says that dogs produce tears when being reunited with their owners after a lengthy separation.
Aww.
Why do we keep finding more ways that dogs are adorable and perfect?
Because they're the goat. Dogs.
Well, they're dogs.
They're dogs.
The dogs are dog. They're awesome. Dogs rule. I can't wait to go home and see Banks. Mr. Banks.
I love you, Mr. Banks.
Mr. Banks.
All right, so as we promised, Scott Frost willfully being reckless with his own body.
Going
today.
right in with the negativity, the media negativity.
So the team buses left here a little while ago, but Scott Frost, for those of you not watching in on the stream at 1620thezone.com, the video is making its rounds on Twitter. Frost is coming down the stairs at Memorial Stadium to go to the buses.
Yep.
Watch what he does.
Or listen to what he does if you're on the video.
I'm not sure if it's going to be much audio here.
Okay, well, I guess we'll describe it then. Look at Frost.
There's a 47-year-old man acting like a child.
That's so cool.
I kind of love that.
And
Good
being
on you,
willfully
Frost.
reckless.
Trev made the right decision.
Listen,
with bringing
we
him
all
back.
know,
Four more years.
how the line of succession is. If Frost would have taken a header there, then that means Kamala would have been the head coach this week, and she's getting COVID every other day. So then it would have been Pelosi. Do you want Nancy Pelosi coaching the team on Saturday?
Why do you always
Scott
have to
Frost,
make it political?
Because
why don't you ever
isn't
bring
it
up
the-
Marjorie Taylor Greene? You
Well,
always
isn't
go
it-
with the lefties.
Well, yeah, but it's the line of succession.
that-
Kamala's the vice
I thought you were
president.
going to make
and
a
then
Game
Nancy's-
of Thrones joke, and you decided just to go with Democratic politicians.
It goes
like you
president,
always
vice
do.
president. It goes head
I know
football
how it
coach,
goes.
vice president, speaker of
Oh,
the
is
house.
that how it goes?
Yes.
Dude, if Nancy's leading anything, we're in for a bad time. Bad time.
Yeah, Scott Frost riding the rail. It was,
I thought he's cool.
it
Go
wa- it was
Frost.
funny.
It was a little
Go
gnarly.
Scott
It was
Frost.
very funny.
Oh, look at us. People
It
say
was very
we're
funny.
negative.
We're saying good
Joe
things
in
about Scott Frost.
Boulder. What up, fam?
I'm saying a good thing about Scott Frost.
There you go.
I mean, but I will say those rails are pretty,
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do
Slippy
it.
and slidey.
But you know what? I'm not as cool as he is.
Thank God he didn't
I'm
take
just
a
wearing
header.
a zone
That would
hat
have hurt.
and a golf polo.
Because he rode that. So let's see it one more time.
He
Bottom.
got close though.
Well, if he would have gotten to the bottom, he probably would have gotten
And all right, you know what? Nebraska by 30. I'm going to say it now. Nebraska by
You know what's
30.
going to happen? Pat Fitzgerald's going to try the same thing tomorrow.
Oh, I hope so.
Even
But
Fitz would
there
do
won't
that?
be any videos of it because he doesn't allow his team to have cameras, phones.
Even Fitz. Even Fitz.
Hey, you know what it is? And on that note, we end this first day of Red Out. Well, it's actually the second day of Red Out Week, brought to you
Ish.
by Union Bank and Trust, where your money has people. Daily coverage all week long. Break the Curse event on Thursday.
Oh, baby.
The Power Lunch, or maybe we should call it the G5 Summit.
Nice. Why? You just keep going political, man.
Well,
Stick to sports, John.
five guys,
seriously.
G5 Summit.
Yeah, I'm getting wings. I can't wait. I'm getting wings.
And we'll be
Bring me
live
back
at
some.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill in Lakeside Plaza. Steve writes in the text message, I'd pay $5,000 to see Tom Osborne ride that.
Oh, hell yeah, Steve. Good call.
That would be fun.
Good call, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Red Out Week on 1620 The Zone, presented by Union Bank and Trust.
Before you know it, Husker football season is going to be here, and you want to be in Memorial Stadium or following the Big Red on the road. And while you look for tickets, look no further than ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, they are your home for the best selection of Husker tickets inside of Memorial Stadium. And the best part, you'll never pay those outrageous fees like you do at other sites. Just compare. And you want to follow the Big Red on the road? Tickets for Less has you covered there, too. Find the best seats at the best prices to all your favorite Nebraska events, all in one convenient location. Ticketsforless.com. That's ticketsforless.com. Get in the stadium.
As the end of summer draws near, the vacation season is just starting for customers at Greenberg's Jewelers. For a very limited time, when you make a purchase of $3,000 or more at Greenberg's, you'll get a $500 gift card to use for airfare to one of over 100 destinations in the U.S. and Mexico. If you were thinking about an engagement ring in the next few months, it's time to buy the ring now. Considering a gorgeous diamond pendant or anniversary ring? Get it now from Greenberg's and get free airfare. Imagine the look on her face when the engagement is topped off with a honeymoon or vacation to Cancun, Las Vegas, New York City, Los Angeles, or one of many other destinations. Greenberg's has the absolute latest styles in jewelry, stackable rings, stunning solitaires, love story rings, dazzling pendants, and of course, hearts on fire diamonds are all at Greenberg's. And get a $500 airfare gift card from Greenberg's Jewelers with any purchase of $3,000 or more. But hurry, a deal like this won't last. Greenberg's Jewelers, West Roads Mall, a cut above the rest. Some restrictions apply.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
DQ presents how to experience the new DQ Reese's Take 5 Blizzard with your 5 senses. First, open your eyes and see it all. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, caramel, peanuts, pretzels. It's beautiful. Then feel it. Oh, it's cold. Next, listen to it. Now, smell it with your nose. Oh, sweet top notes. And finally, taste it. Experience the new Reese's Take 5 Blizzard today. DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com. Delivery subject to availability, additional fees, and minimum order requirements.
It is Big Red Friday, August 26th at McDonald's. You'll score a limited edition Husker flag for just $5. You're looking for a good cause? The proceeds benefiting your local Ronald McDonald House. That's a good deal. Those families, they go through enough. We want to take the burden off of those families by supporting the Ronald McDonald House. Should a Husker fan like you need a flag? Absolutely. Stop on out. It's Big Red Friday, August 26th at your local McDonald's.
Trees supply oxygen, provide shelter, and reduce pollution. They're a symbol for life. Lanahaw Nurseries is the metro area's premier homegrown tree source. Leave a legacy that matters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Your exclusive home for Royals baseball in Omaha.
Right up the middle, Bishop, and the Royals are a winner.
1620 The Zone.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
We're pretty cool guys.
We are pretty cool guys.
Pretty cool guys.
On 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you?
Now, it's time for the unsportsmanlike conduct bet of the day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
All right, on Friday,
Kyle, you owe me $500.
Kyle owes John $500. I had the Saints plus 150 against the Packers. The Packers won by 10. Nick was gone. Nick is now back.
Nick is back.
Let's see what happens with bet of the day. I'm going to go with the NFL tonight. You know, there's a football game tonight, John, in the NFL.
I had no idea.
Jets play the Falcons. The total is 37.5. Give me the under. Bet the under. Minus 110.
I can't buy a win right now.
Yeah, I'm
you know
better than
what?
you right now. What?
The Cubs just took out Milwaukee 2 out of 3. The Cardinals, you're next.
Oh, baby.
Cubs plus 140 tonight. Come on, Drew Smiley. Give me a win.
Nick?
I'm going to make up for lost time. Give me the Mets, the Braves, and the Angels plus 595.
It's bet of the day.
Iowa.
This would be the part of the show now where we would do our awesome House of the Dragon discussion, but someone was doing laundry, which is a euphemism,
and
not
watching
for what
Stranger
you
Things.
think it would be a euphemism for. So I guess we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow.
I told you guys you could have talked about it. I would have just tuned you out. I don't remember most of the
Well,
Saul
you lucked
conversations.
out because Scott Frog gave us the viral video that now is going to go around the country.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
By the way,
the only way that could
two
have been
things.
cooler is a denim jacket.
Veteran move
Trans Am.
to hop off the rail when he did, because that rail flattens out. He'd have been racked.
Oh, bad times.
Bad times. Secondly, after the negativity of last week, maybe some folks will look at this and say, "Oh, that's Scott Frog. He's a decent guy after all."
What a
Trev made the right decision.
Kind of funny.
Trev made the right decision to bring him back.
I like the fact that he did it.
It's funny. It's hilarious.
I like the fact that he did it.
Travel
And now may
safely, Scott, and Nebraska
Well,
football players.
yeah. Make that the last time you do that on this trip.
Yeah,
because now it's all business.
Yeah, probably don't
there
do
was the 5 seconds of fun he allowed himself on this trip. Now it's all business.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, when you drive by the Trump barn, make sure you wave, because that barn
the
is
skyline.
now, because now that barn is apparently a part of the skyline of the Omaha Mavericks floor. How fun would that be? It was actually
that would be all. If it just said it, if it stenciled it on there.
It just said it.
Oh.
Again, it's not.
Maybe.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.